Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. Here in GOAT James Kingdom, we attack the GOAT debate head on, where we challenge all Michael Jordan fans and all LeBron detractors to who is the GOAT of basketball. You can catch us every Sunday noon Eastern Time, right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel, for the GOAT James Kingdom show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. Also, we go live Friday nights with the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer, where you catch special shows and content as a GOAT James Kingdom follower and subscriber. Also, check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership, where you can get exclusive content.
Did we just have the best NBA regular season ever? Now, there's been a lot of people roasting the NBA, saying players take too many threes, the ratings are down, the product is bad, the players don't care, load management, all these different things. But if you actually watch the games this year, it was elite. I mean, to start it off, you had a guy like Giannis average 30, 12, and 6 on 60% shooting for the second straight year. No one else has ever done that. He's averaged 30, 12, and 12 for the last 6 games. He's putting up crazy stat lines, and he's not even going to finish top 2 in MVP voting. We had another guy have the best offensive season ever. He averaged a 30-point triple-double. He was top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, steals. He put up crazy stat lines, 30, 20, 20, 60, 10, 10. And he's not going to win the MVP. And that's because we had another dude putting up prime MJ numbers. He won 68 games without one of his best teammates. I mean, he was phenomenal. And he led that Thunder team to one of the best seasons ever. I mean, they won 68 games. They're one of only 7 teams to do that. They had the best point differential ever. They had the second best net rating ever. They're one of the best teams ever. And we also had 2 other teams win 60 games. You had the Cavs who won 64, the Celtics that won 61. We had 3 teams win 60 games for the first time in 15 years. Not to mention, Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. What? So in the same season, LeBron got to play with his own son and Luka Doncic. And speaking of LeBron, he's 40, Steph is 37, KD's 36, and they're all still putting up all NBA numbers. Then you got Trae Young, who put up 3 20-point, 20-assist games. That's the second most in a season ever. And his teammate Dyson Daniels averaged 3 steals a game. That's the most by any player in the last 35 years. He had the most steals by any player in the 21st century. He was phenomenal. We just had one of the best regular seasons ever. Let's appreciate it.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. Welcome. I am A. Johnny the Exposer, and y'all have now been exposed by the Exposer. I appreciate it. Enjoy it. I am called A. Johnny the Exposer. You guys are being exposed today.
Your opinion, I guess.
Move on from it. It was the 90s. That's it, bro. Move on from that. You don't know history. You don't know basketball. You just told me I'm stupid. But look how stupid you look because you don't know
I know all this
basketball. You don't know history. You don't know jamming. You don't know schematics. You don't know coaching. You don't know scouting. You don't know drafting. You don't know nothing but that Michael Jordan's great because the media said you that, so told you to say that. I know that is recorded, and you are officially being exposed by the Exposer, and you're going to sit there like a man and take this just like Buddy did 2 weeks ago.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey, get your numbers out. I had to get my numbers out.
What's good, y'all? Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm your host, A. Johnny the Exposer, one half of the GOAT James Kingdom platform, where we go live and express basketball takes like none other, and we actually drop basketball knowledge about the GOAT of basketball and obviously what goes on in today's NBA. You guys see me in uniform. My Heat are playing right now as we speak. They were up actually against the Atlanta Hawks. Now they're down 91-90. There's about 7 minutes to go left in that game, but I'm here with you guys because I'm here to talk the game of basketball. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel. Shout out to all the GOAT James Kingdom members like Asante there in the building. Peace and blessings, brother. Thank you for joining me again here on another great Friday night. You know who's here tonight as well. Juan Boy's in the building. Peace and blessings, brother. Thank you for watching me. We were just on Lamont's live. Shout out to you, Ma, another GOAT James Kingdom member. Man, Willie just got cooked by Lamont. He just admitted to Lamont that Michael Jordan choked. He just got off the live saying Jordan choked. Nobody want to hear it from Willie. Willie know he can hit that link whenever he's ready to hit that link. But you guys know what to do here. Shout out to everybody who's also watching us on Facebook and on IG, as we are live there as well. Again, it is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm your host, here to break down to you guys the year end. Right? It's the 2024 season. It's officially over after tonight. We'll know who's going to be in the playoffs. We'll know who's going to play who. We got games starting tomorrow. We got games Sunday. And we got games throughout the rest of the week because the NBA playoffs have started. And we're going to have a blast talking about it. I'm going to give you guys the breakdown of everything, man. I know we're blowing the lead right now, Mar. Don't get me upset right now. I'm trying to hold it in right now. Shout out to Zero in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Peace and blessings. We got my boy Marcus in the building. Shout out to Marcus, another GJK member. Thank you again. You guys are definitely wonderful, and thank you for supporting us here, man. Yeah, man, my Heat ain't doing too well right now. As I said, it's 90 to 91. It's actually 93 to 90 now, and the Heat just went for a three-pointer, just missed it, and oh, my God, it's not looking good for my boys, man. This is looking bad for me, man. This is looking bad, man. We had a good lead, man. We known for blowing leads. But we're here to have some fun. I'm going to let a couple of y'all trickle in because I know Lamont just finished doing his live. So y'all should have no problem joining us. We'll see how that's working over there because I think Lamont should have the live available on his channel as well. So shout out to everybody who's watching us on FYF Sports Debate as well. As again, we are live right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership because we are going to continue to grow our content here. As you guys see, we're going to keep doing big things. And with LeBron James on the verge of winning 5, he's about to win 5, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all don't understand how great this is going to be for us this year as GOAT James fans. So shout out to everybody here, man. Yeah, man, that boy was wild and Willie was on one. Y'all missed it. If y'all didn't get a chance to watch Lamont's live, he had a great live discussing him being a judge for Mars, and Mars completely upset about him. And he was a judge on PC, and Mars lost the debate. Did not like Lamont's criticism of his debating skills and his debate performance. Was a great live. Mars actually showed up and defended himself. So shout out to Mars, man. Again, and shout out to all you guys. Thank you for supporting us here in GOAT James Kingdom. Man, I don't know, man. My Heat got to win this game right now, man. I need this victory right now as a Heat fan. I just need this victory. Y'all don't understand how I need this victory really good right now. I really do, man. Because my Heat needs to be that team, man. We are that team, bro. It's hurting my heart, bro. It's hurting my heart, man. It's really hurting my heart, bro. It really is, man. But we're here to talk about the NBA season, right? You know, it's been a wild, crazy NBA season. It's finally coming to an end with the play-in tournament finally finishing up tonight. I got my Heat winning and I got Dallas winning tonight. So let's see how that works out, man. Man, listen, bro. I'm an old head. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm an old head, bro. I'm an old head. I just don't talk like them because they don't know how to talk basketball, man. Shout out to you, Philip, man. Thank you for joining me, man. They don't know how to talk basketball. That's their problem. They don't know how to talk the game, right? They don't know how to talk the game of basketball. So that's really the truth of the matter right there. But, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, we here to talk basketball in GOAT James Kingdom. That's why FYF allows us to go live on his platform here. So let's watch this. Oh, my God. It's 5 minutes to go, 98 to 22. Atlanta got the ball. Miami must have just called the timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bothering me. This got me hurting so bad when my team lose like this, man. I can't have my team lose like this, man. We can't be losing like this. This is horrible. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, Sante's also an OG, man. Shout out to you, Sante. A real OG, man. OGs, man. We do real things, man. We ain't got no reason to act crazy. Unless you want to act crazy, then I can act crazy because I got the energy. You know what I'm saying? I got the spirit of an old man, but I got the energy of a YN. You see what I'm saying? But, man, my Miami Heat are doing me dirty right now, man. They doing me really dirty right now. But with all that being said, right, we want to talk about how great this NBA season is. And I want to let my boy Chilltown get in here because shout out to Chilltown. You know, we all know Chilltown. And Chilltown got a chance to have a 20v1, man. Shout out to Chilltown. It wasn't a 20v1. I think it was a 10 versus 1. OG versus the millennials or the new generation. And I got to finish watching that, man. OG got a chance to do his thing, man. Shout out to Chilltown. But let's let Chilltown break down also why this NBA season has been probably the best NBA season we have seen in our life.
So I was asked, Chill, why is this the best NBA season that you've ever seen? You've seen a bunch of them. Why is this the best NBA season that you've ever seen? And I was thinking to myself, why is this the best NBA season that I've ever seen? Is it because we got a guy running around in the league that's averaging 30 and 10 and almost 6 assists for the third straight year and is not going to win the league MVP? These are how many guys in NBA history have done that. We got a dude that's had 3 20-20 games in Trae Young. Last dude to do that was Stockton 35 years ago. We have a guy that's having the best offensive season almost in NBA history. We got another guy who's having a season that rivals Michael Jordan and James Harden and Steph Curry. We have the Celtics that may repeat for the first time since the 60s. So if I'm thinking why, there are your reasons.
Yeah, man. Listen, Chilltown dropped some facts that there's a lot of great things that happened this NBA season. And as a GOAT James Kingdom platform here, you guys know we appreciate the NBA. We always break it down with the idea of stats, accolades, and achievements. You see what I'm saying? And all those things that Chill just broke down lets us know exactly why this season was actually one of the best seasons we've ever seen, if not the best season you've ever seen. Because I can tell you this right now, I can't remember a season as great as this season, but this was definitely one of them. My Heat, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm watching my Miami Heat. We're down 3 points here as we're trying to get a basket. Shot clock down. Bam. We got that in there. That's a good one. Shout out to Tyler Hero, who just put that one in 97-98 with 3:35 to go. Atlanta has the ball, man. This is going to be crucial for my Miami Heat. But like I said, we were talking about. Matter of fact, let's finish watching this Miami Heat game. Y'all get a chance to do this play by play with me, then we'll get to the NBA season. Let's watch this right here. So we got Trae Young got the ball trying to make a pass here. 3-pointer missed. Okay, here we go. Miami get a chance to take the lead now with 3 minutes to go. 3:10 left to go. Miami's bringing the ball up right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Hero has the ball on the left side. He gets a screen. He pulls up for an 18-footer above the key. Bang, 20-footer. That was actually a 20-footer. Miami takes the lead with 3 minutes and 1 second to go. Timeout, Atlanta. Oh, man, that's big time, man. That's big time, man. Yeah, man, Chilltown and Ticket used to have some big-time battles. I do remember that, man. Yes, if the Heat win, they face the Cavs. They face the Cavaliers in the first round. They'll be the 8th seed. They'll be one. I think they'll be the first 10th seed to win the play-in tournament and make the playoffs. But they'll be the second team to make the play-in as one of the 9th or 10th seed. I think the one of the teams that made it as a 9th seed. So, yeah, it's getting crazy. I see some people sending me messages now, man. Shout out to everybody who supports me, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We ain't getting sweep. Forget you, one boy. We ain't getting sweep. And we gonna give the Cavs some trouble. Y'all keep sleeping on my Miami Heat. We good. Y'all keep seeing that. Like I said, we're gonna be the first 10th seed that's gonna make it all the way to the NBA Finals. That's what we about to do. We about to show Jimmy. Jimmy better be there. Jimmy better meet us there. He better worry about the Lakers first. Yeah, we gonna push them. We gonna battle. We gonna fight. If they ain't Boston, we ain't worried about no Cleveland. The Cavs are gonna cook, man. We ain't nobody worried about no Cavs, man. We ain't worried about no Cavs, man. Oh, why is the time so out of here? What's going on? I'm a little bit slow. It's showing me. Let me see what's going on. Why is it so late? It says 2:35 to go in the score ticker, but it's 99-98. We still got the lead. So let me see what's going on here. Will there be an upset in the playoffs? I mean, depends on what you call an upset. If OKC loses, would that be an upset, right? Well, it depends on when they lose, right? Oh, what a play. Oh, what a play. Oh, my God. Miami is now – oh, he almost lost the ball. Miami is up 103-102 with 126 left to go. I don't know what happened the last minute and a half because I'm watching it on NBA.com. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. The Heat are up by 103-102. Everything is confusing for me. I don't know what's going on here right now. I'm just going to pay attention to what the score says. And it's 1:22 to go. My Heat got the ball. Andrew Wiggins got the ball. Karis LeVert is on him. He's on the right side. He's clicking. He's letting the time go by. It's less than 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Bam comes to give the screen. He doesn't do it. He takes it. He waves it. Give it to Bam. Bam, you got 3 seconds to work it right here. This is where you do your magic right here in the mid-range. Bam loses the ball. Oh, and it's a tip-in by Highsmith. Highsmith with a tip-in. Did he take a 3-point lead? Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? There was no foul there. Don't leave nobody open. Good job. Good way to recover. And, oh, my God, Trae Young gets all the way to the basket. 1 point lead, 105, 104, 48 seconds to go. Miami, hurry up. Get across the line. Oh, my God, they almost got an 8-second call. Here we go. Tyler Hero with the floater. Oh, he missed it. And it's a rebound. 35 seconds to go. Oh, my God. Here we go. Trae Young try to pull up. No, he doesn't get it. Give it to Dyson Daniel, who goes to the paint, passes it to the corner. Bogdanović dribbles, try to go for a shot. Up, fake. He doesn't get the hook. Rebound, Highsmith. And they foul him. Miami has the ball with 19.7 seconds left to go. What a rebound by Highsmith. I always call him Hightower, but Highsmith, what a play. Back-to-back plays by Highsmith. Oh, phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomenal. Again, we're watching my Miami Heat right now before we get on to the Friday night exposure with the exposer, as the Miami Heat now is about to win back-to-back games to face an NBA playoff seeding and go up against the number one Cavs, yo. Let's make this happen. He said, so that's his name, Niang. That was his name, Niang. I thought that was, I didn't even know who that was. Why is he taking that shot? Because that's what he's job to do, put the ball on the floor, take a hook shot. He was right at the rim. That's what y'all say? Yeah, Josh playing tonight, right? I think I don't think he has a high strain. I think he's playing tonight for sure. I don't care how many men the Cavs have. The Heat have men too. We have a 12-man roster. We got dudes in uniforms as well. We out here to play. We can do it. We can make it happen. Y'all better stop hating on my Heat. I told y'all, man. There's going to be a parade on Crenshaw, but it's still Biscayne in June. Exactly. He got to hit that. He got to make that shot. He got to play harder. Pause. But we're watching the game right now as we're in the middle of the Friday night exposure, ladies and gentlemen. I usually don't pay attention to my Heat, but it's obviously the play-in because this year has been a drama. Well, I can't say I never pay attention to my Heat. That's a lie. But it's just been drama. It's been hard to be a Heat fan this year, but it's good to see us if we can get this victory right here. We not planning. Oh, we got the ball. Let's go. Good job. Oh, Tyler Hero, they got to foul him. That's not who you want to foul, not Tyler Hero. I think who shoots damn near 90% from the free throw line. But I think they had a foul to give. They did have a foul to give. But we got the ball over half court. So now we're on our side of the floor. So let's see if we can get a good possession here because they got a foul. Well, no, they don't really have to foul. They're only down one. Oh, they get it to Tyler Hero. Oh, Dyson Daniels almost gets a steal. Don't play around with the barrier thief. No, not the great barrier thief. You don't want him, and you don't want him playing that defense. Oh, that's where you get the ball. Good job. Oh, now they have no choice but to foul. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna play the foul. Oh yeah, y'all got to foul because we don't got no shot clock. Okay. Yeah, there's no shot clock. My bad. I didn't realize that. Okay. So all we gotta do is hit these little two free throws right here, ladies and gentlemen. Miami is up 105-104. 12.2 seconds left to go. Tyler Hero's on the free throw line to hit 2 free throws here to give the Miami Heat a 3-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. This will give you a playoff berth. Whoever wins tonight moves on to the NBA playoffs. Whoever loses goes home. And if you're Atlanta, you just stay at home, and it's the end of the season for you. And we get to go face the team that you traded away one of your best players to. Oh, we about to do this. This is big-time moment stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. This is big-time moments here. Here we go. Make that shot. Here it is. Bang. Oh, he missed it. It's only a 2-point lead and a timeout by Atlanta. They got a chance not only to actually win the game, they got a chance to send the Miami Heat home early with a 3-pointer. So what do you do here? If you're Miami, do you foul? Put them on the line? No, you don't do that. You just play good defense because you don't want to give them 2 easy free throws. So you have no choice but to play defense here if you're Miami. And you got to play no fouling defense. So, again, the score is 106-104. Miami is up with 11 seconds to go. This is crazy. Man, that was a tough miss by Hero. That you got to make those, Hero. You're known for being a free throw guy. Can't miss those. That's painful right there. That one hurts. Ladies and gentlemen. Again, shout out to everybody who's watching us also on Facebook and also on IG. Y'all are true supporters of Go James Kingdom as well. Appreciate all the love and support as we're going to continue to grow our content here. Shout out to y'all. Y'all make sure to hit that like button. Join us here on YouTube if you're on Instagram because, again, Instagram don't allow you to go live for longer than an hour. So after an hour of this live, you will now no longer be able to contact us here. Just become YouTube and you can watch us, baby. Come here right here on YouTube. All right, so let's see what Atlanta runs here. Atlanta's on the floor with Niang. They're running with Daniels. They're running with Trae Young. We got Davion Mitchell, Alec Burks, Smith, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero on the floor. Trae Young will be bringing the ball out of bounds. Let's see what this play is here. Let's see if they can get a wide open guy here. All right, so they get the pass in the corner. Defense, and they get good defense by Miami. Foul on Bam. They call a foul on Bam before anything. 6 seconds to go. Wow, good job, Bam. Now they have to redo all that again. They got to redo all that again. Yeah, Miami got a lot of things we got to do this offseason, man. We got a lot of things. The good thing is that Tyler Hero nor Bam will make the All-NBA team, so we don't have to worry about paying no Supermax contracts if we're going to keep either or. But we already got Bam for the next 3 years anyway, so we ain't got to worry about Bam. We definitely we got cap space, bro. After next year, Miami has super much cap space. We got a lot of cap space. Don't be surprised if Duncan Robinson ends up on the Los Angeles Lakers, ladies and gentlemen. If the Heat don't keep him. Shout out to Travis watching us on Facebook. Shout out to all everybody on Facebook, man. We keep doing big things around here in Go James Kingdom, man. Y'all make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, this is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm Johnny, the Exposer. I do this live every Friday night right here on Go James Kingdom, right on the YouTube. We're also live on FYF Sports Debates on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. Tonight's show is about the year-end review for the 2025 season, but we're in the middle of watching my Miami Heat clinch a playoff berth as they are up by 2 points with less than 10 seconds to go. It's 6 seconds left to go in the game, 6.1 seconds. Atlanta does have the ball, though. Let's see what play they can run. I don't like the idea of KD coming to Miami. We have to give up too much for him. To be honest with you, I'd rather have CP3. We need a point guard. Give us CP3. We can sign him up for 1 year and let him come play for us. He'll be perfect. He just played 82 games. He'd be perfect in Miami for what we need, especially for what we need. Oh, they're going to get the ball to Trae Young. Trae Young has the ball. Burke is on him. Trae Young goes all the way to the lane, and he gets it. Wow. Trae Young goes all the way to the lane and lays it up right-handed right over Alec Burke. 1.3 seconds left to go. 106, tied ball game. Looks like we might have an overtime game here, ladies and gentlemen. If we go to overtime, we'll just go on to tonight's program, and we'll just move on. I won't do the 5 minutes, although it'd be difficult to do that, ladies and gentlemen, because I am very, very invested in my Miami Heat. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know I like my Heat, man. Y'all know I be all about my Heat. That's what we got to do here today, man. We got to talk about my Miami Heat. So let me see if we live. Again, shout out to everybody who's watching us on FYF Sports Debate. Again, we are live on FYF Sports Debate as well. Shout out to Lamont over there. Appreciate you, brother. doing big things. Lamont, that live was fire just then, Lamont. I don't know what happened at the end, bro, but that was a fire live. The fact that you got Willie to come on and for Willie to behave the way Willie behaved, oh, that is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. Yeah, man. Ice Trey, man. The dude is cold, man. The dude is cold, man. Hero should have made that free throw. Yeah, man. You ain't got to tell me, man. That is the synopsis of our entire NBA season as a Miami Heat fan. As we were just that close, a Tyler Hero a free throw away from going to the playoffs, but no. Yeah, Alonzo Mourning can still play on his phone. Can't play in the NBA. Try me. Yeah, shout out to Martell and the Miami Heat Zone channel. Y'all make sure to check out the Miami Heat Zone channel as he's continually growing his channel. I believe he's over 6,000 subscribers now. So shout out to you, Martell. Keep doing your thing, brother. Stop hating on the Heat, man. Stop hating on the Heat fans who are upset about Jimmy. All right, here we go. Miami's going to try to run this last little play, and they're going to get the ball to Alec Burke, who does a fadeaway in the corner, and he misses it, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into OT, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I can't take it. This is too much. I can't take it. Oh, my God. 5 more minutes. Oh, God. Well, with that being said, let's get on to tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen. I'll find out my Heat very shortly here because I won't be able to do the show at the same time, nor will I waste you guys' time with my Heat fandom. So again, obviously, here in GOAT James Kingdom, like I told you, we always use stats, accolades, and achievements to represent the things that we want to talk about when we talk about the game of basketball. And to be honest with you, right? This NBA season has been top-notch basketball, man. It's been top-notch basketball through it out. And when we just discuss the things that we want to discuss, which is obviously, like I tell y'all, the idea of stats, accolades, and achievements, right? So we're going to talk about the accolades shortly, but let's bring up some stats. Let's bring up some stats that we need to discuss. So statistically, there's been some numbers that some guys have done this year that's been phenomenal numbers. We know SGA's averaging over 30 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, shooting over 50% from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, that's up there with only the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan. These are the only type of players that's been able to put up those type of numbers. And I think Adrian Dantley did it before as well. Nobody's been able to do this. These type of numbers, right? So and him and Michael Jordan are the only guards to put up these type of numbers, where they're averaging over 30 points per game and shooting over 50% from the field. So SGA's numbers has been ridiculous this year when we're talking about statistically, right? And then we're talking about, let's not remember Joker, right? Remember the MVP race is another big thing about this year's NBA season. Joker's averaging a triple-double. He's averaging damn near 30 points per game. He's averaging 12 rebounds, 10 assists per game. He's been dominant. He's shooting over 50% from the field, basically 57% from the field, ladies and gentlemen. He's shooting over 40% from the three-point land. Nobody's done that. Nobody's ever had that type of season. All the guys who average triple-doubles never averaged 50% shooting, never shot 40% from the three-point land. He is doing things that we have never seen anybody do before. Joker is definitely the best player we've ever seen in this generation, right? And he is on his way to showing us if he can continually do this, that he's probably the greatest player we've ever seen play. I'm going to sit here and say that because even defensively, Joker's still good defensively. I know a lot of people don't think he's good defensively, but he is. And then to add on top of that, what Giannis is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, Giannis has 3 straight seasons averaging 30, 10, and 5+. This year, he's averaging 30, 10, close to 11. Close to 12 rebounds and 6 assists, shooting 60%. Back-to-back seasons, shooting 60%. No one's ever done that in NBA history. No one's ever averaged 30 shooting 60%. No one's averaged 30 and 10 shooting 60%. And no one's definitely averaged 30, 10, and 6 shooting 60% from the field. What Giannis is doing is also something we've never seen in a day in our life. And we already know Giannis is a defender without a doubt. He may not be an all-league defender this year, but we all know he's made countless all-defensive teams. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis is having a phenomenal NBA season. He's having a great NBA season. Then if you add what the GOAT has been putting in on his 22nd NBA season, LeBron James, which is having obviously the most NBA seasons tied with Vince Carter, but he's broken all kinds of records. He's averaging over 24 points per game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting over 50% from the field, over 37% from the three-point land. He is lighting it up. He's shooting over 3% or 44% from mid-range. He is completely doing everything that you would want from your player. He's averaging a steal per game still. He's playing phenomenal defense on both sides of the floor. LeBron James is phenomenal. When they talk about records this year, he's breaking all types of records. The most 30-point games in the 22nd season, the most double-doubles, the most triple-doubles, the most points scored, rebounds scored, assists scored made, the most blocks made, the most steals made, the most games played, the most minutes played. All of these things that he's doing is just, again, the 22nd NBA season. All of this is encompassed that. And then we got to add what Anthony Edwards is doing. This young man has hit over 300 three-pointers this NBA season. Completely changed the dynamics of what he can do on the basketball court. And he hit more threes. Now, this is funny. He's the three-point king because of the total amount of threes he's made. They're not going off of threes per game because 3 per game, the most three-pointers made per game is by Stephen Curry. Nobody's talking about that. They're talking about the amount of threes, though, that Anthony Edwards hit, which is over 300. He hit 320 for this NBA season, ladies and gentlemen. That's 4 threes per game. That man's lighting it up. And then we had 3 separate NBA teams that won 60 games or more this year. We haven't had that happen since 2009. And we had a team win 68 games, and we haven't had a team win 68 games since the 2016 Warriors, right? And before that, it wasn't until the 1997 Bulls, where they won 69 games. I think only 4 teams in NBA history has actually won more than 67 games, and the OKC Thunder did that this year with 68. So those are the statistical sides to show how great this NBA season has been. Then we go to the achievements. What has all the achievements are all the milestones and records that we attribute here in GOAT James Kingdom. You have Stephen Curry going for the 4,000 3-pointers in an NBA season. Joker had a 30, 20, and 20 game, ladies and gentlemen. Not to mention he had a 60-point triple-double game. Kevin Durant reached the 30,000 club. LeBron James scored 50,000 points in his NBA career. Right? Giannis, like I said, Giannis is the only player in NBA history to have 30 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and shooting 60% from the field. No one's ever done that in NBA history, ladies and gentlemen. That is incredible. Not even Wilt Chamberlain. Boston had 3 players make over 253 pointers in the season. Nobody's ever had a team do that. Not to mention, Boston has made the most 3-pointers in NBA history for a season for a team. Plus, they shot the most. And there's other records as well. Like I said, I brought up SGA. How SGA is on one of the only players to average 30 and shoot over 50% from the field. Joker, all the things that Joker did, all these things, man. I'm telling you, Harden, he became second all time in 3-pointers made behind Stephen Curry, right? Chris Paul became second in assists behind John Stockton. And all of this, mind you, is in a season where we lost players like Joel Embiid. Paul George couldn't play. We lost Wembanyama. Right? We lost some star players that could have made this season even better. That could have changed the whole dynamic of the NBA. We had the Lakers make the most epic trade of all time. Oh, the Heat are running away with this one. Don't let me go look. Hold on, wait. Let me go look. Let me go see the way. Let me see. What am I looking at here? What am I looking at? Let me see. Oh, my Miami Heat are up. We are up 120 to 114. Oh, my Miami Heat are up. Let me stop looking. Maybe I'm going to drink some. Let me stop looking. Oh, my God. Right? So, when we're talking about this great NBA season, all of these things are part of it. All these things, matter, right? All these things equate to why this was one of the greatest NBA seasons that we've ever seen, and why this year I kind of like it. So many great things. There's so many. And let's not mention moments. At the end of tonight's show, I'm gonna play the NBA's top 5 plays of this year, and they have a whole video, 100. They have a bunch of videos, but they have a 100 play video, the best 100 plays. Man, we got plays for days. We got so many great moments in this NBA season. You know what I mean? But like I said, here in GOAT James Kingdom, we talk about stats, We talk about accolades, and we talk about achievements. And these are the stats and the achievements of the 2024-25 NBA season. But if we go to the guys who are in the accolade scenario, now I'm not going to go into the nonsense of who's the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Clutch Player. These are awards that I'm going to let the media vote for, let them have their thing. My thing is always going to be the All NBA and the All Defensive Team. Those are things that I always cherish as a basketball fan because, again, these are things that have always existed in NBA history, especially in modern basketball. So without a doubt, let me see what you guys are talking about here. Shout out to you, Zero. Yo, hey, Johnny, do you think Joker and Wemby will go down as two of the most talented big men we've ever seen? Definitely. Oh, without a doubt. Because, again, a lot of us didn't see the greatest big men we've all ever seen, dominant-wise, talent-wise, greatness-wise, is Shaquille. None of us saw Kareem. None of us saw Wilt. None of us saw Bill Russell, right? We saw Hakeem Olajuwon, right? But we didn't all see all of Kareem Olajuwon's career because, again, Kareem was drafted in 84. So we didn't see 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, Hakeem Olajuwon. Remember, we talked about how the NBA was very limited on showing these small market teams, these West Coast teams, right? So we didn't really get a chance to see Hakeem Olajuwon. We saw Shaq, though. Shaq was a phenom. So we saw Shaq. So when we talk about the greatest centers we've ever seen, big man, yeah, Joker's going to be there. Wemby's going to be there, right? Those type of players, yeah, they're going to definitely be there, without a doubt. So, and again, it's sad that guys like Embiid, we were not going to get a chance to see Embiid as well because Embiid was another one of those great talents that we definitely missed out on. So, again, I see a lot of GOAT James Kingdom members are in the building. Shout out to T Perfect, man. T Perfect, thank you for joining us, man. Again, man, the Heat is gonna take this, man. I don't want to look because I'm gonna start talking a lot of crap. But again, we're here having a Friday night exposure with the Exposure. I'm A. Johnny the Exposure. This is the Friday night exposure where we're talking about the 2024-25 NBA season in review. And we were just discussing what the things that we normally discuss in GOAT James Kingdom: stats, accolades, and achievements. I was breaking down all the great statistical moments of this year, of this NBA season, and also the great achievements of this NBA seasons, which, again, achievements are milestones and records. As we can see, there were countless records and milestones surpassed this NBA season and were able to be honored. And now we get to the crux of the accolades, and we're talking about the accolades. We already know that, obviously, Giannis won the in-season tournament MVP, right, as the Bucks won the in-season tournament championship. We know that the in-season tournament team included Giannis, Dame, SGA, Alfred Sengun, and Trae Young. So that was the guys who made the all team, the in season I don't know how you call it, the in season tournament team. The Heat are in the playoffs. Don't tell me that. Are we there? The Heat did it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Heat win 123-114 as they are able to move on to the NBA Finals. Tyler Hero steps up big with a 30-point performance, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Bam backs him up with 17 and 11, 5 blocks. We got Andrew Wiggins also stepping up with 28 and 8. Beast mode for my Heat. Highsmith stepped up with a double-double, 12 and 10. Wow. Davion Mitchell stepping up with 16 points. Oh, man, what a great game. My Miami Heat sending Trae Young and Atlanta home. Now let's get Anthony Davis and the Mavs on board so that we can have an NBA playoffs. Oh, man, this is great. This is great, man. Oh, this is phenomenal. I'm loving it, man. I am having a blast here, man. This is great. Shout out to all the Heat fans, man. We did it, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Biscayne and Joe, baby. Parade on Crenshaw, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's make it happen, baby. Biscayne and June. Shout out to all of y'all representing, man. We out here doing it up, man. It's over. The Heat are in the playoffs. Shout out to all my Miami Heat fans. We doing it big in the 305 to 954. Shout out to y'all, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Take that with you. Chicago fans and Atlanta fans. Y'all were always talking crap about my Miami Heat. Where's Chilltown at? I told Chill, I'm going full overboard, Chill. I'm going full overboard. Full overboard, ladies and gentlemen. My Miami Heat are there. We in the playoffs. The 10th seed. We're going to be the first 10th seed that's going to make it all the way to the NBA Finals. That's right. But back to tonight's program. Back to our regularly scheduled program. So again, we're here talking about the 2024-25 NBA season in review. We broke down the statistical and the achievement part of the season, but let me give y'all my all-NBA and all-defensive team. Now, that is supposed to say all-defensive team, but that on the left, not all-NBA team. So my all-defensive team on the left is Lou Dort, Daniels, which is Dyson Daniels, Evan Mobley, right, Zubac, and Draymond Green on the first team. The second team will include Jared Allen, Jalen Williams, Jason Tatum, OG Anunoby, and Bam Adebayo. That would be my all-defensive team. Okay, excuse my typo. It was supposed to say all-defense, not all NBA. But on the right side, you do see my all-NBA team, and that goes by the three different teams. Now, my first team for my all-NBA team would be Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, and Anthony Edwards. Now, if you want to put LeBron James on the first team, I would put him on the first team, but I don't think he's going to make the first team. Shout out to Tyler Hero. Shout out to you. Yeah! Yeah, man, my Heat gonna make the playoffs. Man, my Heat are gonna make the playoffs. All y'all can cry. My Heat are in the playoffs, and now y'all in trouble. That's just it. Y'all in trouble. Y'all are in trouble. Complete trouble. All right? My Heat gonna go all the way to the NBA Finals. Yeah, Asante, we coming after them Cavs. We coming after them Cavs. See you Sunday. I see you on Sunday. I see you on Sunday. But again, we're talking about how great this NBA season has been. Let's stay on topic here. I'll celebrate my Heat very shortly. And I think that when you're talking about these guys right here, Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, and Edwards, whether you want to put LeBron James in that category or not, which I do believe LeBron James can be an all-NBA first-team player, but I don't think the media is going to want to give him that recognition at 40 at this time again because, again, remember, y'all, they still battling the GOAT debate. If you put LeBron James in all-NBA first team, what does that say about the NBA and what does that say about the GOAT debate? So it's either one or two things. Either you're saying LeBron James is that great that, yes, he made the All-NBA first team at 40 years old in his 22nd NBA season, or the NBA is so weak that LeBron James is All-NBA first team. You have to pick one of the two in that discussion. And do you have media members out here who want to do that? We know they put him on the third team last year. But either way, LeBron James I have on the second team with Jalen Brunson, with Karl Anthony Towns, with Donovan Mitchell, and with Stephen Curry. I don't believe they're going to let Stephen Curry not make the All-NBA second team. They're not going to put Stephen Curry on the third team. I believe he'll be on the second team. Now, the third team is a lot of guys that you could throw on there, but I got James Harden, Evan Mobley, Trae Young, Devin Booker, and Cade Cunningham making the All-NBA third team. The first team, again, yeah, my first team, you see my first team. My first team is Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, and Edwards. If you want to put LeBron there, I would not argue. I would not argue with you there. I'm not going to argue about LeBron being first team or not. But I don't think the media is going to allow LeBron James to be an all-NBA first team. They just won't. We know we have too many Zesty Jeffries in there. Shout out to you, Lamar. Thank you for joining us on a great Friday Night Exposure with the Exposure. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing the greatest NBA season we ever seen. If you don't believe it's the great NBA season, let's let a couple people in here and describe how great this NBA season actually has been.
Did we just have the best NBA regular season ever? Now, there's been a lot of people roasting the NBA, saying players take too many threes, the ratings are down, the product is bad, the players don't care, load management, all these different things. But if you actually watch the games this year, it was elite. I mean, to start it off, you had a guy like Giannis average 30, 12, and 6 on 60% shooting for the second straight year. No one else has ever done that. He's averaged 30, 12, and 12 for the last 6 games. He's putting up crazy stat lines, and he's not even going to finish top 2 in MVP voting. We had another guy have the best offensive season ever. He averaged a 30-point triple-double. He was top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, steals. He put up crazy stat lines, 30, 20, 20, 60, 10, 10. and he's not going to win the MVP. And that's because we had another dude putting up prime MJ numbers. He won 68 games without one of his best teammates. I mean, he was phenomenal. And he led that Thunder team to one of the best seasons ever. I mean, they won 68 games. They're one of only 7 teams to do that. They had the best point differential ever. They had the second best net rating ever. They're one of the best teams ever. And we also had 2 other teams win 60 games. You had the Cavs who won 64, the Celtics that won 61. We had 3 teams win 60 games for the first time in 15 years. Not to mention Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Like, what? So in the same season, LeBron got to play with his own son and Luka Doncic. And speaking of LeBron, he's 40, Steph is 37, KD's 36, and they're all still putting up all NBA numbers. Then you got Trae Young, who put up 3 20-point, 20-assist games. That's the second most in a season ever. And his teammate Dyson Daniels averaged 3 steals a game. That's the most by any player in the last 35 years. He had the most steals by any player in the 21st century. He was phenomenal. We just had one of the best regular seasons ever. Like, let's appreciate it.
So I was asked, Chill, why is this the best NBA season that you've ever seen? You've seen a bunch of them. Why is this the best NBA season that you've ever seen? And I was thinking to myself, why is this the best NBA season that I've ever seen? Is it because we got a guy running around in the league that's averaging 30 and 10 and almost 6 assists for the 3rd straight year and is not going to win the league MVP? These are how many guys in NBA history have done that. We got a dude that's had 3 20-20 games in Trae Young. Last dude to do that was Stockton 35 years ago. We have a guy that's having the best offensive season almost in NBA history. We got another guy who's having a season that rivals Michael Jordan and James Harden and Steph Curry. We have the Celtics that may repeat for the first time since the 60s. So if I'm thinking why, there are your reasons.
Yeah, I mean, they made some great points, ladies and gentlemen. They made some great points. Like I said, if we go back, again, here in GOAT James Kingdom, we always talk stats, accolades, and achievements. These are tangible basketball things that we could talk about. But, you know, we just watched Lamont expose Mars for these guys who run around here using these vague basketball stats, these illogical basketball terms that are very vague, that don't have no true definition, and want to talk basketball. When we have stats to tell us everything we need to know about what's going on in a basketball game besides watching it. Then we have the accolades, which let you know people that are being honored for the things that they are doing, which predicate off of your stats. Your stats is what get you your accolades, and then your achievements, which are your milestones and your records, which are the things that you have done, no one else has done. You set milestones. You're putting records out here. These are the things that describes greatness in basketball. It's very simple. But we have all these people who want to go and get analytics and get all this other nonsense just so they can sound smart. But in reality, you just sound like a damn fool. You sound like you're just talking a bunch of gobbledygook. So when we break down to this NBA season about how we do it in GOAT James Kingdom using the stats, accolades, and achievements, right? By just the stats alone, just like Chilltown and Dubs only expressed, we had guys like SGA doing things that only like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and Michael Jordan's done. And I think like Adrian Dantley and stuff. Guys who could average 30 points per game shooting over 50% from the field. And SGA is the first guard to do it since Mike. Mike ain't did it since 92. So we're talking about over 30 years but a guard couldn't accomplish what SGA's accomplishment. Not to mention that he's averaging 6 assists plus 5 rebounds per game. He's one of the best steals guys in the league. He's one of the best defenders in the league on top of that. Then if you just want to add what Joker's doing, let's forget about Joker's averaging a triple-double on 50% shooting and 40% three-point shooting, 80% from free throw. All great numbers. And he's doing this. Nobody's ever done that. We've never seen anybody do what he's doing because nobody's ever been that good efficiently and also productive, right? Then if you want to get outside of that, we talked about what Giannis is doing. Giannis is doing something no one's ever did. 30, 10, 6 on 60% shooting. His efficiency is ridiculous. He's dominating. I mean, nobody's ever been able to be that dominant like Giannis. And we all know Giannis gets to the rim. But Giannis has been dominant, and he did this for 2 straight years in a row when we're talking about the 30, 10, and 6. But he's been doing 30, 10, and 5 and shooting over 60% for 3 years now. Now, I think it's over 50% for 3 years, but the last 2 years it's been over 60%. It's been great numbers. We already talked about what the GOAT's been doing. Remember, I just talked about the stuff that only Joker's done, right? But LeBron's right there. We're talking about a player that averaged over 24 points, who has over 8 assists and over 7 rebounds and shooting over 37% from three-point land, plus shooting 50% plus from the field. Only LeBron and Joker's the only players in NBA history to do this. LeBron's doing this on his 22nd NBA season. So LeBron's 22nd NBA season is filled with all type of milestones and records, not to mention the statistical dominance that he's been doing at the 22nd season as a 40-year-old. We've never seen a 40-year-old this good. We just talked about him possibly being on the All-NBA first team. Not to mention, LeBron James actually has an argument to be on the All-Defensive team. The only reason he won't make it is because there are better defenders than LeBron James in the league, right? And it's not by position anymore. So now we can throw a couple of big men in there that don't belong in there normally, right? If that's the case. But still, you have LeBron James' 22nd season. We have Anthony Edwards, who had a phenomenal NBA season, who took a step up, a leap up as an athlete, as a player, as a professional. Showing his diversity and showing his willingness to grow his game, added the three-point shot, hitting over 300 three-pointers this NBA season, leading the NBA season in it. No one would have ever thought at the beginning of this season that Anthony Edwards would be the lead leader in 3 points made. The young man, and he's efficient at it as well, shooting over 39% from the three-point line. That is great, ladies and gentlemen. That is phenomenal shooting efficiency. Then we had 3 teams win 60-plus games. We haven't had that since 2009. One of them won 68 games. We haven't had a team win 68 games plus since the 2016 Warriors. Prior to that, I believe it was the 97 Bulls, who won 69 games. Only 4 NBA teams that actually won 69 games or more. And that includes this year's OKC Thunder, 68 games or more. So again, these are all the statistical achievements of this NBA season. And there's actually more that I can go to. There's just been so much great things that's going on. We talk about OKC's net rating. In fact, OKC has the number 1 net rating in NBA history. I know Lamont didn't like that, right? But again, that's just another thing, another idea to show you how dominant they've been as a team. They've had the number 1 net rating in NBA history. So that's another statistical number that we can throw out here to show how great teams have been this year. We've never seen a team as dominant as the OKC Thunder has been when we're talking about on both offense and the defensive side of the ball. They're a great basketball club. And they're going to go down in history, especially if they end up winning an NBA championship. They're going to have 68 wins. They're going to have possibly the league MVP. They're going to have multiple all-league defenders, maybe multiple all NBA defenders. They had multiple all-stars. They're a great team. All the stats, all the numbers are saying how great OKC is. That's all the statistical sides, all the great stuff we're seeing statistically. Then we want to talk about the achievements. On the achievement sides, it's even more. There's a bunch of milestones that we've seen this far. Yeah, again, the playoffs are different than the regular season, but they still pull up a great regular season there, Asante. They did a great regular season. Yeah, Dwayne Wade came close. Dwayne Wade did come close. I think George Gervin came close as well. But 49.1 ain't 50. Right? So those are the type of numbers that SGA's been putting up. Again, we want to talk about SGA's numbers. Again, SGA has been putting up spectacular numbers this year. Then if we go to the milestones and the records, right? Stephen Curry took the 3-point shooting to another level, made 4,000 for his NBA career. I think the next closest guy is still in the 2000s. They're not even in the 3000s. So he's well over 1,000 more 3-pointers than the next guy. Joker had a 30 and 20-20 game in NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, never happened in NBA history. Not to mention his 60-point triple-double, right? We got Kevin Durant reaching the 30,000 club. LeBron James making the 50,000 mark, reaching 50,000 points scored for his NBA career, both total and regular season and playoff points combined. We had Giannis. Again, I told you about Giannis' phenomenal season, averaging 30, 10, 6 on 60% shooting. Boston made the most three-pointers in NBA history for an NBA team. Made the most and shot the most. Like, all of these great numbers and all these great things is why this NBA season has actually been one of the best NBA seasons. And let's not forget that it's also been one of the most watched NBA seasons as well. Because contrary to how y'all feel about these numbers right here, right? No matter how y'all feel about these numbers, this tells you how many people are watching. We're talking about billions here now. SGA, 1.6 billion, 1.06 billion views. These are, forget that LeBron James has over 3 billion views just by himself. Him and Stephen Curry alone is close to 6 billion views, just those two. But look how many other NBA players are being watched. So that means the NBA season within themselves is growing. People are watching the NBA. They have a product that is out there. we're going to talk about Miami Heat very shortly. I just want to rehash some things because we got some new people who just joined us. Again, thank you for joining me here. As y'all know, I do this every Friday night with the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposure. We are live talking today's NBA season, and we're breaking things down. And like I said, so with all that going on, you got all of that with the stats and the achievements, and then we go to the accolades that we already know that existed, that are already been given out. We know who were all-stars, right? We got several guys who made all-star honors. Stephen Curry was the all-star game MVP, right? I don't think y'all really care about who was the slam dunk winner. We know McClung won it. The three-point winner was, I forgot who was the three-point winner now that I'm thinking about it. Nobody really cares. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cares about that. Three-point contest, no. I don't care about it at least. Right? We had the in-season tournament play. The Milwaukee Bucks won that. Giannis won the MVP. The in-season tournament team, right, was consisting of Giannis, Dame, SGA, Alfred Sengun, and Trae Young. Right? So we know those were the awards and honors already given out for this NBA season. Then we know that we have the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the Clutch Player of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year. All of these are all votes by the media. I really don't want to go into who's what. I think SGA will win MVP, though. I think, to be honest with you, I think Evan Mobley's going to win Defensive Player of the Year by default. If it's not him, then I would guess they're going to go to Lou Dort, right? Just because it really should go to Dyson Daniels, but they're probably going to give it to Evan Mobley because of how good he's been, even though they haven't been they're not a top-ranked defense as well. So I don't know how you're going to give it to them. And then, we got, Sixth Man of the Year. Who can be Sixth Man of the Year, right? We got a guy like Chris Dunn. I don't know if Chris Dunn can be considered a Sixth Man of the Year. We know Malik Monk came in. It's kind of heavy on Sixth Man of the Year awards. I really don't know who you could really bring. Maybe somebody from Cleveland as a Sixth Man of the Year. A guy that came off the bench playing well. DiVincenzo in Minnesota. Maybe you want to use him. I don't know. But again, you see what I'm saying? That's a lot of... That's just too much for me to really go into, as I don't really dig deep into those type of awards. Once they're recognized and they're honored, I appreciate it, but I'm not digging into actually arguing who should get it or not. Because again, a lot of these awards don't have any true criteria. You know what I'm saying? But I like to discuss all defensive team and all NBA team. And to the top left is the all NBA team. All defensive team. I got all NBA written there by accident. It is a typo by me. But my all defensive team this year, I believe Lou Dort will be all NBA. All defensive first team. Dyson Daniels will be on the first team. Evan Mobley, Zubac, and Draymond Green will all make all defensive first team. Then on the second team, I have Bam Adebayo, Anunoby, Jason Tatum, Jalen Williams, and Jared Allen making the defensive team. So, and I think the NBA needs to expand to a third team. It's about time you do it. There's a lot of good defenders. You need to expand to a third team for the all-defensive team. That would be a great thing. That would be a great acknowledgement. And it's about time to start, especially if you're going to go to 32 teams, which the NBA is trying to do. Then for my all-NBA selected players, my first team I have Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, Anthony Edwards. You can swap Edwards with the GOAT, LeBron James, if you want to. It really doesn't matter. LeBron James will make his 21st all-NBA team either on the first team or on the second team. He's definitely a second-team player, so he'll be on the second team with Brunson for me, with Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, and Stephen Curry. I know some people were telling me Stephen Curry is not going to be all-NBA second team, but I have a feeling that the media is just going to give Stephen Curry those honors and nod, especially as good as they've been playing as of late. And then obviously for my third team, I got Harden, Evan Mobley, Trae Young, Devin Booker, and Cade Cunningham. Now Harden and Young are two guys, and I think Booker may not make it, but for me, I think they deserve to be on the All-NBA team the way they played this year. There might be some other guys. Chilltown brought up Jared Jackson. I'm not a Jared Jackson guy. I don't think he should be there. Cade Cunningham would be on the second team as well. I would put Cade Cunningham over Stephen Curry on the second team if you asked me. But again, I just think the media is not going to put him on the second team. But he definitely deserves to be an All-NBA player, especially as great as the Detroit has played this year. Again, that's been another surprise. I see JB Bickerstaff winning the Coach of the Year. That's definitely without a doubt. So, again, these are the accolades now. These are showing the accolades of today's NBA season. So, with all that being said, man, this has just been a wonderful NBA season. Excuse me. I don't know how you can say otherwise. You can come up here and argue with me if you want to. I'll put the link up for anybody. We can continue the conversation from Lamont's live, or we can continue the conversation about my Heat, or we can continue the conversation about the GOAT debate, or we can just talk about this NBA season. Either way, this is what the Friday Night Exposure is for. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. I do this every Friday night. I don't dodge. I don't run. This is why I do Friday nights, so that I can open up the platform for anybody who wants to speak to us. Because here in GOAT James Kingdom, we don't run from none of you zesty Jeffries. We don't run from none of you guys who are want to debating us. We're basketball fans, and we talk the game like none other. Like I told you, I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. I don't play no games. You want that smoke, come holler at me. The link is available to all you zesty Jeffries.
You think your shit is that bad, man? You got that much juice? Goddamn right. Don't nobody fuck with me.
Yeah, I'm untouchable on these YouTube streets, man. I'm untouchable, man. Y'all boys don't want no smoke with me, man. We all gonna have fun though, because my Miami Heat just won. So with my Miami Heat winning, what does that say for this right here? Is this over for me? Am I truly done with this right here? Is this what we doing? Are we done? Oh man, this one's rough right here, bro. This one's rough. I still got a Pareto Crenshaw booked and ready to go, but I need to know, ladies and gentlemen, how do you guys feel about that? Because now my Miami Heat are in the playoffs, and the fact that we're in the playoffs means what? Parade on Crenshaw might be paused, ladies and gentlemen. We might have to pause my parade on Crenshaw. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Not at all, man. So again, shout out to everybody who's watching us on FYF Sports Debate. Y'all know what I do best. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I am here having some fun, talking about the Lakers season, the NBA season. My Miami Heat just won. Now we are headed on to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go ahead and look up the NBA scheduling here. Let's see how these playoffs play out. As we all know, Saturday's schedule, we have Milwaukee and Indiana at 1 on ESPN. Then we have Denver and the Clippers at 3:30 on ESPN. Then we have the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons at 6 o'clock. All these games are going to be on ESPN. Then on ABC, we're going to have the Lakers in Minnesota. So those are going to be the 4 games there. My Miami Heat will face the Cleveland Cavaliers on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be the top game. OKC is going to wait to see who they play at 1 p.m. So that's what's about to happen there. And then we got Boston and Orlando at 3:30. And then we got Houston and Golden State to end the game at 9 p.m. So we got nothing but basketball all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to go down. Shout out to everybody who's here supporting me. Again, I did put the link in the comments. You guys can come ahead and join me. We can talk the game of basketball. As I said, this is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. We're going to have a great night, man. This is what Friday nights are for. Tyler Hero, Superhero, Guitar Hero, Lakers in 6. That is for sure, baby. That is for sure. Is that Mr. John Wick basket there? Mr. Wicker basket? Yeah, now you on the roof for your Lakers? Lakers in 5. Y'all out here tripping, man. It ain't going to be no Lakers in 5, man. Yeah, Kay Cunningham did ball out this year. Shout out to you, T-Killer. Indeed, they did, man. Indeed, they did, man. But, again, the Lakers play tomorrow. That's going to be prime time, 8:30. Warriors play at 9. Prime time games. That's what they want, prime time games. Yeah, man, my Heat did a good job, man. Let's matter of fact, let's go ahead and discuss how great my Miami Heat played tonight. As right now, Memphis is up 29-14 with 4:27 to go in the first quarter. My Heat ended up winning though in overtime, 123-114 versus the Atlanta Hawks. As I told you earlier, my Heat played phenomenal. We put up 123 points. We shot 50% from the field, 38% from three-point land, hitting 16 of 42 three-pointers. We got to do a better job at the free throw as we were 11 of 18 for 61%. But we played phenomenal. And in the assists, we had 33 assists to only 14 turnovers. We can do a better job there. We did get on the glass though. We had 67 rebounds compared to their 48. So we definitely dominated on the boards on them. Atlanta didn't do too well, but the Miami obviously leading scorer for back-to-back games. Tyler Hero steps up. He scores 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in this ball game. A great game for Tyler Hero. He got backed up by Andrew Wiggins, who put up 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists in this ball game. Then they got the help truly from Bam Adebayo, who put up 17, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks, plus 2 steals. Bam was all over the place today. He stepped up and played big. So shout out to Bam. Davion Mitchell also came off of the bench, playing well, giving us some good crucial minutes. Trae Young had 29 points and 11 assists in this ball game, but couldn't get it done as he got some help from Okongwu. Okongwu scored 28 points and 12 rebounds. But obviously, Zach Ricochet was 1 of 11 from the field for only 3 points, 0 rebounds for the rookie. He didn't play too well. Karis LeVert, who they traded for, was 15 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. He shot 40% from the field. George's was it Niang, whatever it says, Nang had 20 points, but it didn't matter as my Miami Heat were able to win that one 123-114, and we are now headed on to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shout out to all the Miami Heat fans who are celebrating tonight. This is a great victory for us, man. Shout out to y'all for sure, man. Oh, man, oh, my God. Y'all see Lamont Cook, that clown from the UK. Why y'all got to be talking about people like that, man? Shout out to Mars, man. Mars did hit that link. Again, it is rough dealing with Lamont. Lamont does not Lamont doesn't give you a chance to speak. You got to be able to be on point with Lamont, because Lamont's going to stick to his points. So you can't try to navigate into another field. But, Mars got a chance to defend himself. And again, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Look. UK kid sold. He got caught using Cook stats. Exactly. They get caught using horrible stats. This is the same guy, right? When I was on PC, got upset with me about this whole Anthony Davis remark because I kept using the Lakers having horrible defense, which I go by points per game. I don't go by defensive ratings and nonsense like that. I go by how many points you give up. You play 48 minutes. How many points did you give up in this 48-minute games? What was the team field goal percentage? Those are the 2 key factors that I go to by your defense. And obviously, how well you do rebounding, how well you do forcing turnovers as far as getting steals and getting blocks as well. So They don't. That's enough to tell you defense. I don't need defensive rating. I don't need some math calculation to figure out how good somebody is defensively. Man, I can look at the stats and see all this stuff, but they want to use all these weird numbers that don't mean nothing. So when I try to break that down on there, they can't use it. And then when they want to use the numbers that I was using, which was points per game, to say the Lakers' defense was horrible versus Chicago that night, they want to use it then. You see what I'm saying? But they never stayed 10 toes down. I'm still trying to figure out, what does that 98th percentile mean? What do it mean in the 98th percentile? Does that mean that only 2% of other offensive players get the defensive difficulty matchups on them? There's only 2% of players, which include Donovan Mitchell, that get the type of defensive difficulty matchups. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure that out. I can't get with it. Instead of just saying what you needed to say, which was Donovan Mitchell is the more experienced player. He's the player that truly gets their offensive going, because teams are scouting, or their scouting reports are basically predicated on that, which is what Lamont was trying to say, his gravity. Him being the fact that he's the first option, that everything that they're running is to get Donovan Mitchell off and going. Now, on the flip side, Jordan could have turned around and said, well, yeah, that's because Garland is able to do what Garland does, right? Now they're letting Garland be Garland, and because of that, Donovan Mitchell can be Donovan Mitchell, which is kind of true, because if you really look at it, Donovan Mitchell numbers are not as great as if they've been in the past, but they're still a great offensive team, because, again, as a team, they're playing better team basketball. And if you're playing better team basketball offensively, more than likely it's due to your ball facilitator, your main point guard, which would be Garland, which is the same thing with defense. If you have a good, solid team defense, more than likely it's because you have a good, solid defensive anchor. So if you got a good ball facilitator, a good point of attack offensive player, like a Garland who can set up the offense, set up the plays, then you might have a better offense than just giving it to someone like a Donovan Mitchell because he can score on a one-on-one ISO situation. Which again tends to and lends to the Zesty Jeffrey argument about playing one-on-one basketball. They believe being a great one-on-one player is actually great basketball, which is why they don't understand why Anthony Davis was a defensive liability. But again, that's what they do in PC. They use these vague numbers and these vague stats, and they don't let nobody bring up any information so that you can do it, right? You see what I'm saying? Because again, it is what it is. They have a platform to do what they do best. So shout out to them. I always tell people that PC is actually good for basketball because they actually do talk the game. They just got weird ways of doing it because it's like I said, it's still a part of the social media world where it's the lunch table. Like he said, if you're down with Mars and that posse, when it was Mars, Dubs, and Low, that young generation of people who like to talk nerdy basketball, you're cool. If you're chill, you got to defend yourself all the time. If you're a ticket, you can just go up there screaming and yelling. But if you're a real basketball fan, they don't give you an opportunity to really express your take without them being snobby and snooty about it. So, but again, shout out to those fellas, man. They doing their thing. You know what I mean? They got a great platform. But everything is different here in GOAT James Kingdom, and especially with FYF. Y'all should know that I had to learn it. I had to learn it the hard way. I had to learn. They criticized the way I debated, and they came at me with true, honest criticism, and I had to take it and roll with it. But that, again, it is what it is. It always works that way. Yeah, that's what they do. You're too stupid. If I didn't have to explain it, yeah, you had to explain it. Nobody ever heard of defensive matchup difficulty. Like, what the hell is that? Where do you find that at? Where did those numbers come from? How do you determine those numbers? How does that even equate to anything you want to talk about in the conversation? But just saying it like Lamont said sounds cool. So, hey, you must know basketball. He's in the 98th percentile of the defensive matchup difficulty. That means 2% of players, only he's a part of 2% of players that face, I guess, the best defenders every week. I mean, that goes to show you how their offense is important. He's important to their offense because every team is focusing on him. That's why Jordan should have just sliced and diced him up with that one. You proved my point by saying that. The reason you're putting the best defender on Donovan Mitchell. Well, I guess no. Well, Jordan's take was that it was a Garland. So yeah, I'm a little bit off with that one. So let me retract. Let me retract on that. But yeah, man, my Miami Heat pulled it off, man. I'm so happy, man. This is great. This is great, man. The seeding in the West, 2-game difference, 3-8. Yeah, that was another great thing about this NBA season was the race for the seedings at the end, man. And we waited till the last day of the NBA season to find out who was going to play who. That made it great. Matchup difficulty. I'd never heard of that a day in my life. And like you said, you got to go to some obscure site where they're forcing you to pay to tell you some obscure, horrible stat. Some vague stat that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. I don't know what the hell that meant. He was saying that he was basically saying that Donovan Mitchell is in the 24th percentile in defensive matchup difficulty, meaning Donovan Mitchell does not guard the best defenders on another team. His defensive matchup difficulty is very easy. He's in the 24th percentile. He's not dealing with anything difficult. I don't know what the 24% mean. It's nothing to what is that 24%? How does that you see what I'm saying? Like, how does that mean bad or good or who you're guarding? Right? I got this. I just did my son's 5th year, his 5-year-old physical. Okay. The doctor explained his height is in the 98th percentile, meaning that he is taller than 98% of the children his age. So there's only 2% of children. He's a part of 2% of children that is his size or his height or taller. I get that 98th percentile. But what the fuck is the 24th percentile of what? The 24th percentile means what? So if you're 24%, that means you're not guarding anybody good. And if you're in the 98th percentile, you're guarding somebody good. Is that how that works? So if you're 13? Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I don't understand this shit. I I guess we got to be called stupid. Mars, I guess we got to call us stupid, Mars. But Mars is watching basketball right now. He's not sitting here. He's on man, it's very easy to cook Ticket TV because Ticket TV doesn't know anything. That's why they can cook TV because Ticket TV don't know regular stats. So imagine if you start throwing numbers like that at Ticket TV. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Maybe you could explain this one, Peter Bagges. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. And he said, stick to barbershop talk. You can't go no barbershop talk talking about defensive matchup difficulty, bro. When, bro, what? Y'all be acting like y'all be in these exclusive, y'all must be in these exclusive basketball circles talking basketball. Because these terms I've never heard of before. Terms like gravity. Like, I've never heard these terms before. And regular terms like points per game, y'all want to dismiss for defensive rating, for numbers that don't even exist. When my kids bring algebra homework, bro, there's an actual formula and a structure to do algebra. And algebra has not changed in over 1,000 years, brother. Y'all change basketball terminology every year. What are you talking about? Algebra is still algebra. Now, how they do math now is different than how I did math as a kid. They don't teach my kids to do the subtraction and multiplication the same. They don't do that no more. They got a new way of teaching kids how to do math now. But algebra is still algebra. It's still a formula. There's still a way of doing stuff, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Please explain to me 94th percentile, 24th percentile. Explain that shit, bro. The links are here. Please explain what the 98th percentile means. Please explain who is in that 98th percentile. What does that mean, the 98th percentile? Does that mean 98% of the times he's being guarded by the best defender of the other team? Is that what that means? What the fuck does that mean, bro? Shit don't make no sense. And then y'all got the nerve to disrespect 50,000 points. The regular basic stats. Regular basic stats because they don't fit your narrative. Like it don't fit your narrative. You guys want to be upset. That's why I feel bad for SGA. Because once these numbers start coming out and they're going to continue to compare him to Michael Jordan, just like Gilbert Arenas says, that is a death marker. As soon as somebody says, like Mike, and add your name to that category, it's a death sentence to you, bro. From there, they're just going to start picking and prodding and saying, oh, this is horrible. This is why he can't be Mike. And this is what y'all do. Avoid actual stats, accolades, and achievements for the sake of having an argument for some stat that no one knows about. What's the argument that they bring up that he choked? And they can't even talk basketball then because he didn't even choke. I get it. They don't know the game, bro. They don't know the game. They don't know how to talk the game, bro. They don't know how to express the game. They think the game is fucking like math. But Dwayne Wade averaged 26. Chris Bosh averaged 17. Shit. All LeBron had to do was average his numbers, which is 25. That's a 7-point difference. They were losing by 5. That's it. The game is over. They win. LeBron James. Yeah, they go. I mean, just a bunch of contradictory shit. Just like Brandon Katz came on here saying how LeBron James is why the Lakers play bad defense and he doesn't play good defense in the second half of the season. And all of a sudden, when Anthony Davis disappears, now LeBron James wants to be a great defender. So that means the Lakers defense has been great due to LeBron James being the anchor of the defense. Because he wanted to equate LeBron James as a defensive anchor and say LeBron James is the anchor. If that's the case, if LeBron James is the anchor, if he is the anchor, then the Lakers have a top 10 defense based on LeBron James making them that. That's what an anchor does. That's why I was just telling y'all that. But y'all can't talk the game. Y'all be so quick to just y'all talk like horses with blinders on. That's how y'all talk. That's why y'all can't see shit. Y'all just talk with blinders on. That's why y'all get mad. They say we deflecting. We got to use other things and thing because you guys can't talk the game. You can't see beyond your own fucking little zesty Jeffrey world. It's not my fault. Yeah, exactly. He'll say whatever to win a debate, which is ridiculous. I'm not going to argue a debate for the sake of arguing. That's why I keep telling y'all niggas as zesty as they get. That's as zesty as they get. This man says, I will argue just to argue. That's basically what he just said. I will argue just to argue. That's exactly what he's basically just saying there. I'll argue anything. Yeah, of course. If it's a debate, let's go. I'll argue it. Let's do it. I don't care. That's as zesty as they get.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You
So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Miami Heat won tonight because Tyler Hero matchup difficulty was at a 16th percentile. Like, come on, bro. What the fuck does that mean? I remember when Lamont called me about it. Lamont was like, yo, please do me a favor, Johnny. He was like, go watch the PCL and go watch what the Jordan versus Morris debate. I said, okay, I'm gonna go watch it. But when I went to go watch it, the one that I caught was the Coach of the Year one. I didn't see the one that Lamont was talking about, which was the one about who had the better season, or something to that effect. But I thought that was what he was talking about. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, Lamont must be talking about another PC battle. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so that's why I couldn't wait to see it today, to really see which debate he was talking about. And when he said it in the middle of the debate, I heard it for the first time. I was like, yo, what the fuck is 98 percentile? What the hell does that mean? Like, what the hell does that mean? Like, that don't make no sense. Like, that makes no sense at all to me. Yeah, set it up. Set it up, T Perfect. Lamont. T Perfect been trying to debate me about Michael Jordan choking. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's do this one night. Let's bring up since Willie finally showed up to your live, Lamont, and he finally expressed all his hatred for you in the FYF, because he was on it. Boy, he was on one today. Shout out to Willie. Again, Willie, you need to become a member of GOAT James Kingdom, man. Stop bullshitting, bro. Just become a member of the damn channel, bro. Damn, man. Goddamn. You always bragging and boasting about how much money you make, but you can't spend $4.99 on one of your favorite YouTube channels right here on GOAT James Kingdom. And he came up there yelling and screaming at Lamont about Lamont using GOAT James Kingdom takes, which he doesn't. Again, y'all got to stop confusing Lamont and A. Johnny. All right? We are two different entities. We are two separate channels. We have our own takes. I don't call Lamont and say, hey, boss, can I talk about this? Even though Lamont is my boss. But I don't do that. That's not what I do. But what I do is that I bring my takes, I bring my own facts, and Lamont allows us to just multi-stream on this platform, because he needs to have content creators. He wanted to expand it to other ones. Some people couldn't do it. We can do it in GOAT James Kingdom. So not only are you going to see me every Friday night on the FYF Sports Debate, you're going to see us every Sunday afternoon as well. That shit ain't finna change. And don't let Travis negotiate himself on a Saturday night. Don't let Travis negotiate himself on a Saturday night. Let me bring up a caller here. We got DVD Sports in the building. Thank you, DVD Sports, for joining me. We were talking about today's NBA season and obviously FYF Sports Debate. What do you got for tonight's topic, sir?
Johnny, I just want to talk with you about how great the season is, and I'm glad y'all are pointing this out after all this garbage we heard about folks talking about how, the ratings are down this and not really accounting for how great the players are, playing out there on the, on the floor and everything. And I think that's what we got to keep pumping and get over these false narratives about how this game is down and how it's not as good as it used to be and all this other garbage that they push out there at us. Like you mentioned, you had a 40-year-old man going out there doing things nobody thought this man would be doing this time 5 years ago. You got Steph Curry still lighting this thing up. You got Kevin Durant, even though he had kind of like a down year for him, but he's still at 37. Look what this man is doing. The longevity is of all these guys taking better care of themselves and making it out there and showing like we can still do this thing. You got, and even on the side stuff, you got Brandon Jennings and all these other guys in the NBA sphere talking about, hey, we want to get back out there. We want to challenge people to the one-on-ones and everything else. So the love of the sport is out there. It's there, baby. And people up there talking down there, no. Look at
and that's the 2010 generation too. That's the 2010 generation. That's not Kobe's generation. That's not LeBron. That's the guys who were drafted 2009 and beyond. Those dudes are 2010 guys. Yeah.
And they want to get so that So this thing about how basketball is not, it's crazy. I can't understand how these people keep trying to push this narrative and stuff. Basketball is doing very, very well, my friends. And I just got to understand that. So I just wanted to pop that in because, like I said, I appreciate watching you and the guys getting out there week in and week out and making it happen, man. And I
appreciate you. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much, DVD Sports, man. Again, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. Don't be afraid to check out our membership, but definitely subscribe to both channels, FYF and TJK, and hit that ring notification so that you see when we go live. We're gonna, again, with the summer being this summer, it gives us more opportunity to talk about so many different things. And again, the playoffs are going to be great as well. You're right. The NBA season was phenomenal as well, and the playoffs are going to be even greater. And starting tomorrow night, so it's definitely going to be great, man. I appreciate you, man, DVD. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did you get a chance to watch the live just before this one where Lamont was on? Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did not get a chance to watch that yet, but I will be going over it. I did hear Mars when he was doing his on the Player's Choice piece. I saw him complaining about that and going off like, I don't believe how they could do this to me. And then the little pieces of Lamont was saying, it's like, you know what? And I loved it because he broke it down like this. He says, in a debate. Mm-hmm. Is basically bring facts to the question asked, not your whole side piece.
That's facts.
And I think that's exactly what he pointed out. And it was just like, well, you answered everything else but the question. And if that's the case going on, that's the case going on. So
exactly,
what we're gonna do.
exactly. But before you go, I wanted to show you this right quick before you go. You're right about Kevin Durant. I think if Kevin Durant would have made the 65 game minimum, he would have been on an All-NBA team, so he would have definitely made the All-NBA team this year. But being that he didn't make the 65-game minimum, these are the guys that I got making the All-NBA team. The All-NBA team is the one to the right with the three different guys, and then the All-Defensive team is to the top. What do you think of these guys? Do you think there's anybody missing, anybody that should get more recognition or taken off? What do you think?
Man, right now it's like with that 65-game, match, you don't know who falls in and out of that number and stuff, but I think it's going to be pretty close. Actually, I still want to put LeBron on one, because the Lakers overall did have a better season than the Timberwolves and stuff, and LeBron was a big part of that offensively and defensively for that squad. So he's not just going on the all NBA squad just for his offensive numbers, which were phenomenal anyway. But I think that defensive side, he might not make that defensive player of the year team, but that should be also attributed to his all-NBA status. So I think he should be up there on that first team. And like I said, I'll swap him and Edwards on your picks there and stuff. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, that's the only way. That's how I would, I would say that to me is like, are you going to give LeBron that defensive edge that they were saying he could not play? He hasn't played defense. He showed you he could play this year.
He's playing defense. He's playing defense. He's playing defense. He's blocking shots. He's stealing the ball. He's switching. He's you know what I'm saying? He's covering space. Like I tell people, covering space takes a lot of. There's so many things that you guys don't understand about the game that y'all appreciate.
He's gone from basically this year. He went from 2 to 5, and who's been guarded all year long. So he's not been locked down on just, I'm gonna stay at this, power forward where I may have a little bit of size event. No, he's been going out there chasing small forwards around. He's been playing the center. He played Jokic. How many times he's bumped up against Jokic and those guys? So he's not messing around this year. He's like saying, I'm gonna show all my trick back this year. So
damn, Memphis Grizzlies are up 55-33 with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They whooping the crap out of Dallas.
And while I'm here, another thing is we haven't even talked about the competitiveness of the West this year, man. 2 games separating 3rd all the way down to 8th place. You were in the freaking playoffs until the last day of the game, and you got kicked out. Now you've been playing. Come on.
And mind you, Memphis was a 2nd seed at one point this year. So they were the 2nd seed at one point.
So you're looking at it like 50 to just get a breather of a top 6 finish in the West. You win 50 games and you ain't even a top 6 seed. Please.
Yeah, it's getting rough. Shout out to Verified Storefronts. Peace and blessings. He says, I know you probably talked about Mars. What's your thoughts? I thought Mars embarrassed himself. I mean, again, it's very easy for Mars to get into his mode and his arrogance because again, he doesn't go outside of his platform and speak. He's barely truly challenged outside of his own platform where he can control it. With Lamont, it's not that way. So once he started to notice, okay, because again, he really wanted to have that one-on-one with Lamont, and Lamont's giving it to him now. But he had to take it. He kept saying he had to leave. He kept saying he had to leave. But we all know we don't leave. We're debaters. We want to debate. We want to win a debate. So he wanted to actually show Lamont why Lamont was wrong, and Lamont kept trying to express to him that, hey, listen, you told me that I judged you wrong, but by watching your debate and the things that you said, you were off on these things. And he was trying to justify what he was saying, but he didn't say that in the debate. So when Lamont brought up this idea of this defensive whatever matchup percentile, which I still don't understand what that means, it did sound like Mars was talking about the Donovan Mitchell's defensive prowess. That's what it sounded like, at least when I heard it as well. You understand what I'm trying to say? So yep. He didn't express himself correctly, which happens in a debate. That happens. You see what I'm saying? But what you can tell is, though, look, again, Mars has never been criticized truly by true basketball fans, not by people he can just call stupid and idiot and don't know. He can't do that to Lamont. He can't talk to Lamont like that. He can't speak to people like that who know basketball. But they can do that on their platform because they can control how long you're going to have that discussion. You see what I'm saying? I've been on there before. I've derailed the show because, you know me, I drop my points. They want to argue, and I got to keep dropping my points back to back. Like, here, y'all idiots. This is what I'm telling y'all. Pay attention. This is what I'm saying. Stop running around saying other shit. I said this. I said this. So that's what they do. But again, he lost the debate, and he just had to accept that. You know, sometimes you lose the debate. You're not gonna win every debate, bro. It happens. But he's on PC. He's the main guy there. He's the face of PC. I guess he's the most popular one since Chilltown. I mean, I don't know. I guess what Tim, Chill, and Ticket are the most popular guys there. I guess I don't know. But again, I mean, shout out to Mars, man. I got no issues with Mars and his basketball takes. One thing about Mars, I know Mars watches the game. Mars is a true basketball fan. So I would never really down him for being a basketball fan. Now, he has some horrible takes. He be saying some silly stuff. My problem with him, and my same thing I have with Lowe, and same thing I have with Mars, is they're very snobby about their basketball takes. They really believe that they hold some sacred knowledge that none of us are able to possess in basketball, and somehow we have to let them tell us exactly how we should talk the game, which is bullshit. So we all got eyes and we all got a mouth, so you should be able to let us talk the game the way we talk. I mean, I guess he's the face of PC because, again, whatever Mars say on PC, it basically bodes well with their fan base. They love Mars, bro. You challenge Mars, you can disrespect Chill, you can disrespect Ox, you can disrespect Ron, you can go at anybody. But as soon as you go at Mars, you're going to see his fan base. You're going to really see who has a fan base. That's just the facts. So, but again, shout out to him, though. He's definitely – I don't think he's most popular. I wouldn't say he's the most popular one because I think Chill is more popular than him. But he's like I said, he's the face of them. Their content is predicated on the way he thinks basketball should be taught to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And they you know, like I said, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I do watch them though. I don't watch too much of them because you have to be a member to comment on their channel. And I'm not a member of their channel, so sitting there listening to them for 3 hours without being able to hit the type button is kind of weird. They're not breaking anything down. They're not giving you no real knowledge of anything. They're just telling you their takes. That's what I'm saying. It's like a cult. It's their takes. They're not really breaking the game down. They're just telling you how Mars feels, how Ron feels, Ox feels, Swiper feels, Jordan feels, Chilltown feels. They're not really breaking the game down. They don't break the game down. They don't give you no analytics to the point to where you can understand it. They just use it. They just, like he said, they just use it to sound smart. I don't know. I mean, they've had different guys. I think they've expanded their content, but they got a good crew of guys now that talk the game. Before they used to have Chilltown and Low used to be on there, and I mean not Chilltown. What's this guy's name? Ticket there. Ticket used to be on there. Ticket made it bad. I think Ticket was horrible. Ticket was always yelling and screaming and cussing people out and calling people names. That shit is weird. But they used to take it because that platform is run by an individual, a company. And they got a good thing going. I can't blame PC for what they're doing. They're doing great things over there. I'm not gonna lie. We here in GOAT James Kingdom are definitely inspired by what they do in PC, and we do inspire to reach their following and their fan base. So I'm not gonna hate. Yeah, they had Dub. Dub was there for a little bit. Sports Fluent used to be on there as well for a little bit. So, shout out to them, man. But FYF is a different animal. I had to learn that when I first showed up to FYF. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Is this definitely different? Lamont, as cool and calm as Lamont is, his channel is fucking wild as hell. His channel is as wild as they get, as crazy wild as they get. So, but again, y'all, you gotta be willing to take some criticism if you're out here giving a lot of criticism, which is why I took the exposure role, because I was like, fine, if y'all want to talk about me, we finna talk. That's my thing. You want to talk about me? Let's talk. Let's find out about you. Let's see what you about. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of these dudes, they don't be about that life. They really don't. They cowards. They can stay on their platform doing their thing. I keep telling y'all, invite me, bring me up. Been looking for a 20v1. In fact, Chilltown just got a 20v1. Now I'm really more inspired. But I want my 20v1.
Sorry, bro. I'm the type of nigga stand on business, nigga. One man arm against 50, nigga.
Manny, bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
So again, tonight's show was about the NBA season, a year-end review. We were talking about all the great things and all the great accomplishments of this year NBA season. So many great storylines, headlines, so many factors that made this NBA season great. I mean, I can't tell you how much this one is compared to other seasons, because again, as a content creator and this being a new part of my life, I did pay attention to a lot more different aspects of the NBA season this year than I've ever had in my life. Because again, I'm just really a Heat fan. I pay attention to the Heat. I watch Heat games. I obviously watch primetime games, big matchups as well as an NBA fan. But I spend a majority of my time throughout my NBA life caring about what the Heat are doing, what's going on with the Heat. How can we get better, what we can do to get better, things of that nature, how good we are or not. So I never really paid attention to other teams, especially teams like the Los Angeles Lakers. But now, as a content creator, I had to, because it's a part of my job. People do depend on me to know more about the game. So it is up to me to pay attention. And this season was a great season to pay attention to. Again, this is our third year in GOAT James Kingdom. So I've been paying attention to the NBA in this capacity since 2022. And I can say since the last 3 years, this was definitely one of the better NBA seasons. And this is definitely the best season out of the last 3 years under GOAT James Kingdom. And this is definitely one of the better seasons that I've been a part of my life. And I can say in quite some time. I think 2019 was a great year. Because of all the different changes that happened in the NBA. But, barring the fact that we still knew the Warriors were the best team. 2017 was also a crazy year because of the Warriors. 2016 was another crazy year because of the Stephen Curry season, the All-Star break, all that happened there. 2011 was also another crazy NBA season because of the Miami Heat Big Three. 2009 was also another great year because of the Boston Celtics and the Lakers just got out of the NBA Finals and got a lot of credibility to through the Redeem team for the NBA and them winning the gold, and how everybody was like, man, the NBA is getting better. There's all these new stars coming in. There's Chris Paul, there's Darren Williams, there's Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony. The NBA just had this new fresh line of stars that they could promote. So that 28 NBA season was also a great NBA season. 2009 NBA season was also another great NBA season. So those are the ones that I can recall through my NBA fandom. Basketball is a simple sport, not meant to be overly complicated. I've seen thousands of scouting reports, and I have never heard of match difficulty percentile. I ain't gonna lie, Gil. If you ever get a chance to hit the link, bro, I definitely got some questions to you about scouting reports because I would love to hear some of the things that were on the scouting reports when you played versus certain players versus certain teams. I really would like to know, especially like the 2006 Miami Heat. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you remember those lineups back then, and those scouting reports. But I would love to know that. I would love to have that information from you, brother. That would be so phenomenal. That would be great to have you break down something because a lot of these guys bring you guys on as NBA guys, and they never ask you guys about scouting reports. They always ask you your opinions about the GOAT, who was tough to dip, who was the toughest to guard, who was the easiest matchup, blah blah blah. They never ask you guys to help us understand what it is that you do. What was the scouting report versus this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So that would be a great thing for you to help us understand that one day, brother. So I appreciate you, man. But let me let up Peter in the building. Shout out to Peter, man. What's good, Peter? You can unmute yourself.
What's good, my brother?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, man. So you heard about the percentile stuff, man. Tell me about this percentile, because you wanted the smart ones. You wanted the smart ones. Let us know, man. Yeah.
I like to think I'm smart. I'm over here cracking up. Like I was trying to not jump on, but then I seen Gil commented what he commented. I gotta get on here, man, because I always notice it's like a civil war between the dudes who really do it in real life and the math nerds. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always that civil war. Because if you even see what's the name thumbnail, he got the man with the T in his hand and shit, and then he pulling the little.
Lamar is wicked, man. Lamar is y'all. I'm telling you, y'all be thinking, man, y'all don't let them quiet ones fool you, man. Them quiet, calm ones like Lamar and Brandon, those be the savages, bro. They be the real ones, bro. They the real ones. I'm just a loudmouth.
The man. He got the man with a little teacup. I'm like, come on, bro. And then when he come on there, he talking about what he said. Cheerio, and he doing the typical little tea jokes and shit. Basically, it's some shit like, yo, you ain't never hoop. Use a nigga from the fucking UK. You know what I'm saying? That type. He card.
He did take that card out. He did. He said that.
That's the card. That's the card. He really
didn't say college. He said not even college or high school. He said you're not even playing regular basketball. Like you didn't even play like just street ball on a hard top.
Me and you both know, bro. I hoop. I'm not I never hooped like I played high school ball, but I came here at 14 from Jamaica, so I was never, you feel me? But when I started playing and the more I play, I'm pretty decent.
You Patrick Ewing? Patrick Ewing?
No. I'm nice, bro. I got handle, can shoot, that type of shit. But we all know a dude like Mars would get mopped up on the basket. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's where he coming from. But guess what, Johnny? The people, listen, when y'all say the NBA is the best it's ever been, right? The people who have shaped basketball today, philosophically, the way how the game is played, is the nigga with the pocket protector. Y'all do realize that, right? It's not Gilbert. Are you listening to me? It's not you. It's not the roll the ball out. Like that's one of the other terms that the jocks, the cool kids like Gil like to use. Like, oh, I don't care about all that winning and or ring culture. I mean, what is it when you roll the ball out? Roll the ball. Basically, they value rec league basketball and a nigga being able to just cook a nigga 1-on-1 on some empty gym shit, but. Ultimately, the people who do.
No, isn't that what y'all like as Michael Jordan fans? The rec center, the 1-on-1 stuff. The I'm in the gym. I'll bust your ass any day, anytime.
There's some. The thing is, Jordan got so many fans though. So you got the super cool dude who believes in killer instinct and all the little narrative stuff that y'all always talk down on. And then you got the really cerebral type of Jordan fans who really value like his economy of movement. Like that's what I value mostly about Jordan. Like when I talk about Jordan versus LeBron, I don't really go to the stats so much. My thing is when I look at Jordan, the way how he scored his 30, the reason why he could lead the league in scoring, and at the same time have it translate to a 69 win team, a 72 win team, and win championships, is because he was able to do it within a structured offense. Like Jay wasn't doing all that bing, 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 and bing, bing, bing. No, that nigga get the ball. You know, give a little 1-2. You done, nigga. Nigga, cold, efficient killer. Your throat slit is over with. So what that does, what that does is, hey Johnny, it allows for a guy like Scottie Pippen, who has a flawed offensive game. He gets to touch the ball more and feel the ball more and play make, and so it creates a synergy. You feel me?
Hold on, I get what you're saying, but I'm not gonna say you one of the people that say that. But I've heard Jordan fans who say the same thing that you're saying about Michael Jordan, but then turn around and put Kobe in that category, and all Kobe is a little bam, bam, bam. Kobe's not what's it called energy efficient. He's dribbling, counter move, left move, all these pump fakes, doing all these weird shit to get a basket, and still get contested. And they still say he's better than everybody because he looks like Michael Jordan. But he doesn't have that fluency that you're talking about, that energy efficiency. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know you don't have Kobe that high. That's why I'm not saying you. But I'm saying a lot of the guys that have Jordan under that same umbrella that you just talked about with Jordan, the way you described Jordan, they be having Kobe there as well. But Kobe does not have that efficiency and energy saving. Like Kobe, I used to tell people that all the time. They used to get me mad about Kobe. I used to be like, yo, y'all act like Kobe's so good. He never shoots an open shot. He's always contested. Yeah, he makes difficult shots, but why is it difficult? Why are you like Gilbert Arenas said? Why are you doing all these moves? Why the first move didn't work?
Jeff Teague said the same shit. Yeah, Gil gave a great breakdown on the difference between Kobe and Jordan. But a big part of that is, and Gil pointed it out beautifully, the largest part of that is just the seismic difference in their athleticism. Namely, the first step, the explosiveness, the size of the hands. So Jordan, he could give you one jab step and you done. Off a jab step, Johnny. A jab step, because he's that quick. So you got to honor it. Kobe never had other, and you know, Kobe fans get upset about this shit. Like, I got a homeboy, he a crazy Kobe fanatic.
They get mad when you tell them they're not athletic. When you say he's not athletic, they get mad.
He was athletic. Listen, and they like to bring up Froby and the number. Listen, Kobe was a pretty good leaper. I'd say a very good leaper when he was at the peak of his athletic, but he didn't have otherworldly athleticism.
But he admitted to it. He said that he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the quickest, he wasn't the strongest, he couldn't jump as high as most players could. He didn't have all that great stuff, but that's why he had all the other skills. Just like Luka and Dirk Nowitzki and all these guys, they realized, I don't have the athleticism, so I got to use my skill, like Larry Bird, to be a better basketball player. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah, for a fact. The thing with Kobe is, bro, sometimes when I look at Kobe, it'd be hard to assess him because he doesn't play the style of game that I like to, you know, from an aesthetic standpoint, and then the numbers don't jump off the page at you. But when I look at what he was able to do with Pau Gasol, and Pau Gasol is not a world beater, he's a solid number 2 player, right? The fact that he, after being called a sidekick next to Shaq, which I felt was a kind of unfair categorization, outside of the year 2000, of course, he was most definitely a sidekick. But being able to come from that, right, and then go to 3 consecutive finals with Pau Gasol as your second player. Pau Gasol is like a Chris Bosh level player. He's not like, if you put him next to, as a number 2 option, a Dwayne Wade or an Anthony Davis or a Kyrie. I'm just talking about in the sense of offense now. He does other things, but the fact that Kobe was able to go to 3 consecutive finals and win a back-to-back championship as being that lead dog with just an all-star level player next to him, man, that does a.
If Chris Bosh doesn't come to Miami, y'all would be talking about him like Vince Carter, in worse ways.
Yeah, I could see that because he's not a number one dude. Like if he had spent his whole career as a franchise level dude, he'd probably be like a Sharif Abdul Rahim. That's probably how we look at him. You know what I'm saying? A dude that got some nice numbers, but he ain't never really, all-star perennially, but
No,
never.
and granted, that's why he left where he was at, because he would have never been recognized that where he was at. That's why a lot of these players have to leave where they're at, because nobody would have recognized him like that in Toronto. He had to leave Toronto to be able to show that he can do more than just be that guy there. Like, and again, averaging 24, 25 points per game and 10 rebounds is doing you what? Like, where does it get you? Don't get you to the playoffs. You're still losing. Nobody wants to come play with you. You're not gonna. It's harder for you to do what you need to do every night because the scouting report's about you, right? So it's difficult for you to go out there and do your thing on a game basis, and you don't even have a point guard to help you do anything. Now, don't get me wrong, Chris Bosh. I love Chris Bosh. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But y'all be tripping with Paul Gasol. Paul Gasol was that dude, bro. Paul Gasol was that dude. Like, he was that. You could build an offense. You could build a team around Paul Gasol. You can't build a team around Chris Bosh.
Yeah, but you going to get knocked out in the first round, just like Chris Bosh. They're the same level of player. There's not much.
Nah, bro.
There's not a ton of separation there, Johnny.
Paul Gasol is a way better, what's it called, a ball facilitator and playmaker. I would say he's better on offense. He can do more on the basketball court. He's better screener. He can just do so much on the basketball court. He's just as good as a rebounder, if not and he's just as solid as a defender. The only reason I think Chris Bosh is the better defender because I think Chris Bosh could play more on the perimeter,
more versatile. Yeah, he could get on the perimeter.
He can get on the perimeter a little bit better, but still, man, Paul Gasol, bro. Again, him wasting his time in Memphis. People didn't see it. He was really, really good. Paul Gasol is one of those dudes you could throw the ball down to the bottom, and he can set up your whole offense, do all that crazy stuff. Bosh was one of those popping jump shot shooting guys. Nah, I say Paul Gasol was better than Chris Bosh. But they both were dynamic players.
I wouldn't fight you on it. You know what I'm saying? But even if you say Powell better, there's not a ton of separation there.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I would say that. Yeah, no, he's not way better than Bosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, they're on the same tier. Put it that way.
And what Bosh did in Miami lets you know how good of a player Bosh really is. That I can just say that right there. That lets you know how good he really is, because he was able to be impactful without being as productive as far as stats wise. I mean, right. The guy was completely impactful with the Miami Heat needed. He was big time. That man was big time. We needed a big rebound. He was always there. We needed a big shot. He was always there. Whenever we called on Chris Bosh, he was always there. I don't care what nobody tell me. Every time we called on Chris Bosh, whatever we needed from Chris Bosh, he did it. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He did it. Shout out to him, bro. Love that dude. Pause.
Yeah, I ain't like how Rich Paul did him. That was grimy to me. You know, I'm talking about just
what he said about him. I don't think he meant that in his as far as a basketball player. I think he meant that in the sense of as an agent. As an agent, when you guys are saying these guys are big threes, in reality, what you're doing is you're hurting this player. This player is no longer that dude anymore because of the role he has to take to be that third leg. You see what I'm trying to say? It's hard to justify that third leg being that main guy if he's spending 4 or 5 years as that. And in that role. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that's what he meant by saying that. Like, literally, if you're saying these guys are big threes, they can't be a big three. Me as an agent trying to get him any big massive contract, they're gonna look at his role and say, well, no, this was his role. Lucky for Bosh, we have the 7 years in Toronto. But imagine if Chris Bosh started his career as being that role guy, he'll get the Scottie Pippen tarnish. Just how he came into the league. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that's what he meant by he sacrificed really being the main dude. So he can't really be a big three when that third guy, because he said the same thing about Boston. He's like, yo, Ray Allen had to step back. Ray Allen had to do less and had to play a role to make that Boston thing work. He's really not Ray Allen. And we all agree KG and Ray Allen were not the same guys when they got to Boston. They had to change their roles. You see what I'm saying? So that's it. And even Dwayne Wade, somebody was saying that the other day. Dwayne Wade sacrificed his damn career to for LeBron James. And I find funny that they say stats don't matter. It should be about winning. But all of a sudden now these players' stats hurting their careers when they were winning championships. I don't get it.
I mean, I don't think it hurt his career. You know, I mean, he won 3 championships and
facts. That is better. It would have been better him winning 3 championships and 3 scoring titles. That's what they were saying. He would have won more scoring titles and all this other nonsense.
Nah, the championships, because see, the thing is, you need some things to go your way. You feel me? Like you need, when you're at your apex as a player, to kind of intersect with when your organization kind of putting everything together insofar as having the right coaching staff, the coach in the right system, getting the players in there that can actually, help you win on a high level. You kind of need a lot of things to come together. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for all players, whether it be Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, doesn't matter who. And I think what happened with Wade is, once 2006 occurred and people realized that he was one of them dudes, he was getting ready to really hit his peak. And then 06, 07, remember, he was averaging like 30 points, 8 assists the front half of that year. And he got hurt, because he was carrying a heavy load. Like, I felt like they should have moved off of Shaq after 06, but they come back 06, 07 with that same old ass team, that decrepit ass team with the cadaver of Gary Payton's cadaver, Morning's cadaver, Antoine Walker. Like, those guys were done. You know what I'm saying? So if Wade could have, when he was at his peak, got a number 2 like a Chris Bosh, and then had some nice role players around him, the way how you perceive him would have been much different.
Let's go, Heat, bitch. Biscayne in June. Shout out to Martell. Yeah, Martell, we about to scare some Cavs fans, Martell. For the next week, they're going to be nervous thinking about Tyler Hero.
Man, he about to get swept, man. Don't do that, bro.
Anyway, we got Lamont in the building. Shout out to my boss, Lamont. Peace and blessings, brother. So, hey, Lamont, before you get into the situation that you had with Mars, how did it feel dealing with Willie? And try me. Willie said, try me. You tried him and you really exposed him, because he did say Jordan choked, right? You got him to say that, right? Because I'm going to clip that.
Yeah, all I care about was he admitted that Jordan was a choker. So
that is crazy. So everybody was talking about your live earlier. We were just discussing it. Obviously, we were talking about the NBA season as well, but we were talking about obviously Mars and their nerdy way of talking basketball. And I don't know if you saw what Gilbert Arenas put here. Gilbert Arenas said that. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. He says something to the effect that he's never seen anything about defensive matchup difficulty percentile in any of the scouting reports he's ever had to do in his life. You don't know where these dudes be coming up with these weird stats. It is completely hilarious, but they be coming up with these weird numbers that don't mean nothing, don't hold no real basketball take of any kind, but it's just horrible by them. I don't get why they and then they try to use it on you and don't let you actually explain it when you get on the show. So he says here, basketball is a simple sport, not meant to be overly complicated. I've seen thousands of scouting reports, and I've never heard of matchup difficulty percentile.
That's why I came up with. I saw Peter Bagjuice up here. See, I was disappointed in him because I know he knows that the matchup difficulty stuff was all BS. But because he didn't want to come up here and have to side with me, he stayed in the chat and he avoided it because his take on the matchup difficulty was so bad. Somebody said it in the comments that I said, you even got Peter confused. And I said, I know Peter ain't an idiot. I said, you got all different types of people who I know are intelligent, who are all coming up with different definitions of what this matchup difficulty thing might be. And you sitting up here calling us stupid because we don't know what it is. And it's just like, bro, what are you talking? I was like, first of all, and then the thing that baffled me out of it all, he said, when did I say relative net rating? I said, my God, you said it like 8 times in your debates. You don't even know that you said it. You forgot that you said relative net rating 1 million times. Just tells me that you just out here I don't know if he's reading his debates from AI or something, but the fact that you don't even remember what you say tells me, one, you don't believe in your takes. Two, you don't have any real takes. And three, just like he admitted, you just saying stuff to try to win the debate, which I got to give you credit. You will go to any length and say anything to win. So you got to give somebody credit for that when they're willing to go to that length.
Nah, bro, that's zesty. Lamont, that's zesty, Lamont. That you're willing to debate any topic? That's zesty as they get. Why are you sitting there willing to debate any topic? Like, what kind of what is that?
No, that's not what he said. He said he will say anything to win a debate. That's what he said.
But that's what basically meaning I'll take any debate. So basically saying if you tell me, hey, let's debate whatever topic, whether I agree with whether I'm going to be debating or not, I'm willing to say anything because I don't care. I'll debate anything. Why do I care? That's what I'm saying. What's the point of debating?
Because, hey, Johnny, it's about your argumentation. Like, if you take a debating class, they make
that is
you
the zesty. That's the zesty.
That's not
as
zesty.
They
That's
get,
called.
bro.
That's literally
like it,
called.
arguing. Listen.
Arguing.
Arguing because you like to.
Works.
No. Listen, y'all. Wait, no. Don't tell me.
What are y'all talking about?
I listen to debates, sir. I listen to debates. People don't have debates just to have debates. They have true topics and logic and discussions in the debate. It's not, y'all basketball fans need to stop. Y'all debates are real in reality in life. People actually have real debates, and it's structured with real tangible shit. Not just some made up dude want to get up here and speak because it sounds cool. That's not how that shit works, bro.
What I was saying, go James. What I think he's trying to say is, so for example, let's say somebody offered you $1 million to debate for Michael Jordan. I know that because of your knowledge in basketball, you would still be able to debate and argue for Michael Jordan without sacrificing or contradicting your arguments on LeBron James. And Mars basically came up there and said, I will go up and I will contradict anything that I've said in any past debate just to win the debate. And it's just like, bro, that means you like I know that like Peter, I would say he wouldn't do it. You go, James, because you smart enough. We all have like grounded principles in basketball that we stick to, and we will build and formulate our debates around those principles. But if you just out here willy nilly willing to say anything just to sound good, you just the biggest fraud in these streets right here. To me, that's just a fraud.
So you think he's contradicted himself a few times?
Oh yes, countless times. They do it all the time.
Because you know what? Sometimes I think semantics, you could get lost in the semantics, like the relative net rating thing, right? Now, I've heard him say often when they're comparing across eras, they compare the net rating relative to the average net rating of the league. And that typically is a better assessment when you're comparing across eras than just, this raw net rating. So when you said
relative net rating is the only net rating that can stand the test of time across eras, but it still, according to Dean Oliver, the guy who created it, it still has significant flaws and limitations. And he says whenever you use net rating, he says you have to pair it with who they were playing with, because he says net rating or relative net rating is strongly impacted by who you're on the court with. If you're on the court with some really good players, that can have a significant impact. And so he was holding it against Hakeem Olajuwon because when Hakeem Olajuwon was good early on in the 80s, he didn't have as good of a team as Shaq might have had with Penny or with Kobe. And so he's punishing Hakeem because Hakeem had a lower net rating because his team was worse, but he's using his net rating to say that's why.
Wait a minute, Lamont. You're talking about an individual net rating?
No, there's no individual net rating. So what?
Right, it compares teams.
Listen, exactly. So Mars was using net rating to try to tell us that players were better. So when he was comparing Shaq and Hakeem, he was talking about, well, Shaq was on the Orlando team and the Laker team, and they had a higher net rating, and because that means his impact was greater than that. Well, that's why he's better, and I would draft him over.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So the other guy was basically saying, look, Hakeem is arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. That's individual. He talked about Hakeem basically saying he took a team to the finals his second year. right? And really without any superstar help. And even when he won his first championship, no superstar help. If you pair him with guys like Kobe, D Wade, and Penny, maybe his net rating would have been higher. But Mars, because he struggled to just talk basketball, he's running around using net rating to try to tell us this is why Shaq is better than Hakeem, and this is why I would draft. Which you can make a case for why you think Shaq is better and why you would draft him over Hakeem without using net rating. That's the worst thing to use. There are so many other things you could actually use with Shaq other than some bull BS net rating, which was crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Your mic is kind of cracking a little bit, Lamont. But again, the issue is that I have. Now it's all right, but the issue I have with the whole situation is, again, when you're debating, right? You have to be factual. You have to be providing people information. It is not just, you're not arguing just to be right. You're arguing to express an actual a point. Like, you're expressing something that people need to hear. You're not just sitting there to just sound cool or do none of that, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I say at the end of the day, you have to be able to provide information that nobody's readily ever eligible to hear. That's how I said the guy who provides the best information wins the debate. That's the facts. That's how I always take it. That's how I always take it. So
this is what I'll say though. I guarantee you, if I've never been in an NBA locker room or spoken to the guys who do the analytics, because I'm pretty sure like every team has those, those number cruncher type of guys. And like Gil's saying that he's never seen it on a scouting report. That's not going to be on a scouting report. Like they're not going to show you. It's kind of like when you show the answer to a math problem, right? And the teacher says, well, show me your work. When you get the scouting report, you're just getting a condensed, basically the conclusion or the answer to the formula. You're not seeing, hold on, this is what I'm saying. The actual formulas and the coefficients, you're not going to see that on a scouting report.
No, you're going to get that. No, you're going to get that. No, you're gonna get. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like what Lamont was talking about with today's live, because if you listen to what Jordan said when Jordan was talking about the things that the OKC Thunder, when he was talking about Garland, the scouting report would tell you exactly what Jordan broke down: how many times he drives, how many assist points he generates. All of these things are going to be in the scouting report. They're going to tell you the tendencies. When he's on the right side of the floor and they're running this set, this is what he's more likely going to do. That's what the scouting report tells you. The scouting report tells you the tendencies of a team and the tendencies of a particular player. So there's a scouting report for the team, right? And what we're going to do, our game plan against the team, offensively and defensively, and then there's scouting reports for each individual player.
It won't show the formula for how they arrived at how they know how many times a player likes to go left versus right, or how many times in this situation they do this. It's not going to show you the actual formula of how they.
It's going to give you a tendencies. It's going to give you a tendency.
Right.
You're going to find the tendencies. Yeah.
You're not going to see the minutia, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not going to see a percentile. They're not going to say the percentile of him on this floor is going to go left hand. No, they're going to tell you that when he's on this side of the floor, he more than likely likes to dribble to his right side and do a pull-up jumper from this spot of the floor. Like, keep him from there. We want to push him here. We want. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they have an actual formula to stop you. That the formula is trying to stop you. But the tendencies in the scouting report is exactly what you do. They are just jotting down. That's why the NBA has tracking, and they track how many times you play ISO, how many pick and rolls you get into. That helps the team defensively, because those are just numbers the league keeps a track of. And all I got to do is go to the league and say, well, how many times did Garland drive in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left to go with down by 2? That tells me as a coach, you know what I'm saying? Now you have to think outside of the box, because some coaches ain't going to think of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. Like, that's why their job is very difficult. But we're not talking like that. We're talking matchup percentile. What the fuck is that? Matchup
percentile.
What Gil said, all Gil did was double down on what me and you already know, AJ, because me and you, we both do a ton of research. If matchup percentile was something that was significant, me or you would have found this a long time ago already. If it was actually something relevant towards any real basketball conversation. I don't know anybody that will actually get into get in there and do more real research than us. And when you find an analytic that neither me or you or anybody in the chat, even Gil, has ever seen, and you try to use it in a debate and then call us dumb, because we ain't never seen it, and you can't tell us what it is or how it's calculated or what it's for or what these numbers actually mean, you just throw it out in a debate. And you call us dumb for one, you didn't even use the right metric. First, you had to admit that you used the wrong one, because it wasn't matchup difficulty. It was something called, which he called it guarded by matchup difficulty, which even sounds even more fake. So I'm trying to sit there and share his screen, and all of a sudden it says blocked. I can't share the screen. So
that's because he was on Pornhub. talking about beef. I was going to start the beef when Ox was like, "Yeah, why y'all calling out PC?" I was gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm calling out PC. Come over here and come get this smoke, Ox." Ox again. Those dudes love to be. Mind you, though, they might. Yeah, listen. They may have something in their contract with PC that doesn't allow them to just go to anybody's random page. That's possible because they do represent PC, right? I mean, to a certain degree. I mean, listen, I confused Low with PC, so that I can understand that because I thought Low was a part of them, but come to find out, Low was never a part of PC. He just used to go on there, but I always thought he was a part of PC. That's how you have to be. That's why I tell people you got to be very careful with your brand. That's why I tell you stop confusing Lamont and I. That's FYF. This is GOAT James Kingdom. Don't be confusing us. We just collab. We're not the same. There's a difference. He has his thing. He has his brand. He has his, his following. We have ours. We just have a mutual understanding. LeBron's the GOAT. That's it. But again,
so I guess here's the I guess this would be like the $10 million question. Is there an NBA team that incorporates match level difficulty, guys? Y'all keep saying percentile.
That's not what it's called. I went straight to the index and I saw it myself.
I was just on there.
No, it's called. No, you went to something else because I went straight to. Because remember, the actual page for matchup difficulty, it's removed. I had to go find it off of Twitter because it's only on Twitter. Because some of the pages for the original matchup difficulty metrics don't even exist no more. I got like a 404 error when I went to it. So it took me even a while just to find it. And when I did find it, it said there are two different things. It said you matchup difficulty, and there is something called guarded by matchup difficulty. But even when you go to the definition of that, it's not what March said. It just took me a longer while to find it. And I wish I could have hit him with that on the stream because I would have put that on the stream. So he even lied about the actual definition of what that was. So,
well, shit, share your screen right now.
No, but you know what, Lamont, that's all bullshit. Lamont, let me tell you why that's all bullshit. Because it's all on the scouting report on what players like to do, the tendencies of a player. You might have a player who can play good on somebody on the dribble and like to shoot off the dribble, right? And that guy may not be necessarily as good as somebody who can guard Stephen Curry who likes to run around screens. So this 98 percentile means what? What player can guard Donovan Mitchell, Stephen Curry, LeBron James? There's no player that can do that, Lamont. Like, there's no one player that can. Those guys have so many different facets of the game and how they score and how they do things. It's not the same. That's why you have to put a Dylan Brooks on LeBron because he's physical. You can't put Dylan Brooks and have him chasing Stephen Curry. That's a different difficulty for Dylan Brooks. You see what I'm saying?
If it's a different matchup,
and your success in guarding those players isn't always in the numbers. Sometimes you can do a really good job of guarding somebody and they still get 30 if you make it an inefficient 30. And so it's hard to determine how you calculate how difficult the matchup is. What are you using? It's just wild.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Hey, can we nerd out for like 2 minutes? Can I share my screen? Because I'm on the website right now.
How you go ahead? Put it share. You got to show it to me so I can put it up.
Hold on.
We can nerd out because I never heard of this. I never heard of the defensive matchup difficulty. Never heard of this.
Okay,
Same
I
when I
don't
first heard of
see.
gravity. I never heard nobody say, "But this player has gravity."
You
Yeah, I
never
had it
heard
up
the
on my
term.
screen.
You never heard the term. I heard that before PC them. I
No,
remember hearing them use
I
it.
heard of gravity on TikTok. The first time I ever heard of gravity was on TikTok.
I heard the term being used on television in the 2016 season when Steph was going crazy. Like, it's not PC them didn't create that term. I hear them use it to describe Giannis and having to commit so many bodies to him, especially when he's in transition. It's not. I mean, these are shorthand terms that you use to communicate ideas. I mean, you could take any term like that and say, what does that mean? And what does that mean? Like, come on.
No, I get it. I get it. The terminology changes, but I never heard what was gravity before y'all said gravity. That's my point. I never heard there was no term for such thing. It
Like
was
Shaq probably had like Jupiter like gravity. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way to say you got to send bodies to this motherfucker.
But Peter, what I was saying was, the only thing I was saying to Mars is, your most popular term is gravity. I said, why did you go all the way to the back pages of B-Ball Index just to pull up some type of matchup difficulty analytic that no one understands, just to create a new way, more complicated, just to say gravity? Because when you break down what
that has nothing to do with gravity, dude. No, it's not.
Hold on. It's not what it actually means. Listen to what Mars said and listen to what he was trying to intend to say.
I listened to y'all exchange. Like,
no, but that's what he was. But that's what Mars meant. Mars was basically saying that Donovan Mitchell's
that
his gravity
to gravity. No, he
no,
did not say.
No. He's basically saying Donovan Mitchell's gravity attracts the team's best defenders.
No.
Yes.
Yes, that's what he's saying. So what the fuck was the 98 percentile mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Listen, y'all are either very poor listeners or have comprehension issues. The man said he said nothing like that.
He wasn't meaning gravity.
It's basically saying that pretty much the average rating of the defenders that's typically guarding him, they're in the 98th percentile of NBA defenders.
Okay, wait. I got this. I was gonna. Wait, I got
hold on, you asked for an explanation. I gave it to you.
Give me an explanation. I
could share the screen and read it. That's what it says.
Okay,
I didn't make that up.
I understand that. Now you need to explain to me how is that determined. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, explain to me how you're saying that 98%, whatever it is.
Listen, guys, I
share the
crapped
screen.
out.
I'm waiting for it.
Well, I don't see the share the screen thing. Look, I crapped out at pre-calculus. Okay. When I got to I was doing my thing, algebra and algebra 2. I ran into that pre-cal and nigga, I shorted out. So if you're gonna ask me the actual
you lied.
You said pre-cal is 8th grade.
Yeah, that's 8th grade.
Where? Where?
In my school was 8th grade.
Man, ain't no goddamn way, Lamont.
But no, I'm trying to figure this out. What he was basically trying, but what he was saying is when you go by who guards.
Pre-cal is after algebra 2. So you're telling me they were teaching algebra 2 in your middle school? Get out of here, dude.
We went to Dade County schools, man. We had Dade County schools. Dade County schools was not doing us justice. Okay, listen, I'm trying to figure this out. When you say 98 percentile matchup,
bro.
Listen, no, don't run from this, Peter. You're the one who wanted to defend Mars. Again, when the guy says that he has a 98 percentile in defensive matchup difficulty, meaning that that 98%
guarded by.
Right. Guarded by who? What's the difficulty? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I don't get that.
It's saying that the level of the defenders that typically guard Donovan Mitchell, they are rated in the 98th percentile of defenders.
Okay. So why would a coach take the player that is a 98 percentile? Hold on, no. I heard you. Why would you take your player that's a 98% percentile in defense,
defender, right,
and go guard the player who's the least or not the most important player on the offensive side of the ball?
No, that's his point. He's saying that he is the most important offensive player.
Okay,
That's
so
why they're
that's
putting.
the gravity
It's
that he
very
attracts.
simple.
So that's the gravity he
No, no, no,
attracts.
no, no, no.
His gravity attracts the 98 percentile defense.
No, that's not what gravity means. You're
No,
conflating two
but
completely different
that's what he's
concepts.
saying. He's saying that he's
No, he's not. He
gravitating.
did not say that. He did not say that.
Exactly. That's what Lamont is saying. Instead of him
He did
saying
not say that.
gravity, he tried to say it in another
Because
way.
it's not gravity. It's not the same thing as gravity.
Why would you do that? The same way.
Because gravity. Go ahead. My bad.
There's a reason why people are gravitating to a player. It's not because of nothing else other than that player's importance and their factor as an offensive player. That means the defense is focusing on them. They got everybody focusing on them.
Right.
He is saying the same thing, but he just said it in a percentage. He's just saying 98% of the time or 98% of the difficulty defender. That means the greatest of the greatest defenders are on Donovan
That's
Mitchell.
their primary, yeah. The primary defender is typically the elite defensive guys.
Okay, so that means your most important player gravitates the most hardest defender. That's what he's basically saying.
Y'all are really struggling with this stuff. This is
No,
crazy.
how's that hard to not understand? That's why gravity is a stupid fucking thing. Because now you guys don't like the way it's being used. That's the same shit.
No, listen, can I get another shot?
No, Stephen Curry is so dangerous without the basketball that he gravitates defenders towards him even when he doesn't have the ball.
Right.
That's the gravity. It's the same thing. Donovan Mitchell's offensive importance is so important to the Cavaliers that it gravitates the best defender from the next team to guard him.
All right, so let me get another shot, Johnny. Let me get another shot here. I think I could pull it off this time, right? Let's take Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Now, if Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing the Memphis Grizzlies, I mean, Triple J's is the direct matchup, but Triple J is a highly touted defensive player, right? So that's going to be his primary matchup, and Triple J just happens to be, more than likely, I'm guessing here, y'all don't kill me, he's probably in the 98th percentile or ranked in the 98th percentile as defenders. Listen, it's for the sake of... Listen, let's not quibble over the minutia. This is for the sake of argument. I'm going. What, you don't understand what it means to be.
How you
become
a 98%
wait, hold on. All right, so let's do it this way.
You can't be a 98%. Oh wait, no.
Johnny,
Peter. No, stop waiting, because y'all start running, but y'all confuse us. Nigga, I gotta get. You can't keep going. I'm confused. How can you be a 98 percentile on every team, nigga? How can every team have a player that's in the 98 percentile defender? How? How the fuck? What does that mean, nigga?
Yeah. Every team can't have it. That's why I said, because when I was reading the thing on, hold on, you got to allow me to answer your question. When I was reading the thing on Basketball Index, there's some formula by which they calculate that thing. And again, I crapped out at pre-cal. I know what's the name? Don't think that's nothing. So
Wait, let me read it to you real quick. So this is what it says on D-Ball Index. It says guarded by matchup difficulty is a stat that measures the average defensive talent of players assigned to guard a player during their offensive possession. What it's designed to represent. It tells you how tough the defenders are that a player faces on offense throughout the season. It's calculated by using B-Ball Index's defensive player impact plus minus, which is called DPIP-M, or other adjusted metrics that rank defenders league-wide. The higher percentile, the stronger
either or whichever, if their metrics don't work,
they got
regular metrics.
It says right here. It literally says it's calculated by using B-Ball Index's defensive player impact plus minus or other adjusted metrics that rank defenders league wide.
Yeah, like Johnny, they have another metric called LeBron. So that would be like another example of a metric they would use to rank players. Like, why is that? No, I'm saying, Lamont, I'm just using that as an example of what would be another.
Hold on. This one also says, it says the higher the percentile, the stronger the defender someone faces on average.
On average, like how is that hard to understand?
Let me finish reading it. Because what me and Johnny are telling you is all of this just means gravity. So this is what it says. For example, it says if Donovan Mitchell is in the 98th percentile in this stat, it means on average he is being guarded by the best defenders in the league more often than nearly every other player. And then it says right here, what it's not designed for, it is not an excuse for inefficient offense. Just because a player is facing tough defenders doesn't absolve them from poor shot selection or bad decision making. It's not proof that a player is more impactful or better. It just means they draw defensive attention, which is gravity. And then lastly, it says it also doesn't say how well they performed, only who guarded them. And that's what it says right there. So it literally tells you what it is, what it's for, and what it's not for. And it's basically what it says is it's not for anything that Mars tried to use it for.
Right.
It's not
So, but hold on. Go ahead.
It says clearly right here. It's not proof that a player is more impactful or better.
Right.
It just means they draw defensive attention. Hey Johnny, what is drawing the defensive attention?
Gravity.
All right, you done, Lamont? Because hold on, I was trying to get another crack at it, and I got cut off. So I want to get another shot at this thing here without getting interrupted, because I really think I can do this. I think I can really help here, guys. Like, give me a shot here. All right, I'm gonna try it again. All right. So the first team NBA is how many players? 5 players, right?
5 guys.
And there are roughly 450 players. I know each team can carry 2 extra on two-way or whatever, but for sake of argument, 450 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 5 into 450, that's what? 1 over 90. So that would pretty much be 1%. So your first team all NBA team represents, those 5 players are in the 99th percentile of offensive players. Is everyone tracking so far? Lamont, you tracking? Hey, Johnny, come on, get with me, guys. Help me out. Let me know that I'm talking sense.
Yes.
I'm not,
okay.
Lamont, I need you to speak up, brother. I'm not rambling, right?
Go ahead.
No, I need Lamont to say affirmative.
Bro, I don't know what
come on, man. I'm going to try again. The first team, all NBA, those 5 players, by the numbers, represent the 99th percentile of NBA players.
No. Okay, what you're trying to say is this.
5 out of 450 is basically 1%.
Yes, so the top 5. No, so the top 5. So the top 5 players.
Percentile.
No. The 99th percentile is the 445 players. The 1 percentile is the 5 players. That's the 1%. They represent the 1%.
Yes, they're the top. They're the top 1%.
Okay.
But
so
how you would represent that? You would say they are in the 99th percentile.
They are better than 99%.
You wouldn't say they're in the. Listen, guy. Wait, Lamont. Wait, you gotta let me get all. No, you gotta let me get all the way through. Just let me get all the way through.
It says right here on B-ball index. It says 98%.
Hold on, brother.
It says 98 percentile means. It said 98 percentile means the NBA comprises approximately of 450 players. This percentile will correspond roughly with the top 9 players in a specific metric. So hold on. So you're telling me that on a night-to-night basis, Donovan Mitchell is getting guarded.
Before we go there, Lamont,
we gotta go there, Peter. That's what y'all gotta do. Y'all start sidetracking. We need to stick to the point.
I never got to finish. Let me get all the way
because
through.
What you say has nothing to do with the argument no more.
No, it does though. But hey, Johnny, you guys were having confusion over the percentile thing, and I figured I've resolved that. Now, wait, hold on. Wait, brother. At least we know now what, in terms of a raw number, what that percentile represents. Now, hold on, 9 play. Now, whether that Whether or not that makes sense or whatever, that's a separate thing. Let's table that for just a second, right? Because previously we didn't even know what it meant, and now we do. Is that fair? Just walk with me. Let's walk with me, man. I'm gonna bring y'all home. I promise, bro. I'm gonna get y'all home,
Continue,
bro.
Go ahead.
Hey,
you keep asking us to follow you with that road. That I'm not going to Stupidville. Continue.
I'm not gonna let you down, brother.
I'm not going to Stupidville. Go, man. I can see you from here. I can see you from here, bro. I can see you from here, bro. I can see you from here.
Hey, Johnny, mon frere. I promise
I'm telling you, bro. I can see you from here. I can see you from here. Go ahead, bro.
I'll never. Hey, Johnny, listen to what I'm saying from the bottom of my heart, brother. I would never let you down, brother.
You are letting me down.
Never let you fall,
Lamar
bro.
just explained it to you.
I got you, man. I got you, and y'all gotta have faith in me, man. Y'all don't trust me?
Nah, I don't.
Lamont?
No.
Bro, you got to get to your point, man.
Y'all ain't let me get there.
Don't bring us with you. Just go.
All right. So now that we got the percentile thing resolved, right? So that top 5 would represent the 99th percentile. Boom. That's one concept. The gravity concept is not about your primary defender and the level of eliteness that primary defender is on. It's about the amount of defensive attention, the number of bodies. So you got to send multiple bodies to a player. So like Giannis in transition, you got to build a wall, which is typically 3 players. That's gravity. Those are 2 separate concepts. Can I get an amen? Everybody clear?
No.
All right, I tried. Hey, chat, I
Thank
tried,
you.
man.
Okay, so listen.
I'm about.
So, all right, yeah, because you only confuse people because you guys love confusing people. You guys never want to stick to the topic like Lamont expressed. The 98th percentile that he's using is basically saying that only 2% of players face the type of defenders that what's his name face, that Donovan Mitchell face. That's what he's basically saying. Meaning he gravitates the toughest defender, making him the most important figure in the offense. That's what he's trying to use that number to show how even teams are making Donovan Mitchell the most important factor on their offense because they're taking their best defender for sure and putting it on Donovan Mitchell. So he is gravitating not the way you guys want to talk about gravity in just one sense, because you guys like to make it seem like we can't use it. That's why these terms are so horrible, because they can only be used in one simple way. You can't use it any other way. It has no universal meaning. I can't use gravity now to say that you gravitate the toughest defender. I have to use gravity when I'm only talking about you gravitating 6 or 7 players to come watch you. That's the only way gravity applies in basketball, Peter? Is what you're saying? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Say it again.
So gravity only applies when you draw more than one defender. If you draw the best defender, that's not gravity.
Right. You got it. See, I know you got it, man. I told you. I believe in you, bro. Haitians are smart as hell, bro.
Yo, Lamont, you see why the exposure exists? Lamont, you see why the exposure exists? Because I understand their logic so well that I can use it against them, and they get mad at me.
So like Shaq.
And once I start using this gravity against them, they're going to say it's bullshit. Hey, Johnny got Lamont, crazy logic. Mind you,
Lamont,
it's their fucking logic.
So Shaq would draw the best defensive front court player on any team, right? So let's say Hakeem. But Hakeem ain't enough. You got to send Max. You got to send Ellie. You got to send the house. That's gravity. It's 2 different concepts. See, I believe y'all pretending not to understand, dog.
No.
Y'all understand, man.
No, because see, the difference was back then. The reason you can talk about.
Hold on, I'm on B-ball index. Let me read this to you, all right? This is for you, Peter. It says, consistently drawing elite defenders as measured by guarded by matchup difficulty can be considered a factual indicator of a player's offensive gravity as it reflects the level of defensive attention and respect they command from opposing teams. That's right on D-Ball Index where it was created.
Sure, it's related, but it's not the same thing.
No, that's not what it says. It's not saying related. It says.
So you think that's saying that that's saying that it's synonymous. Then that's what you're saying. That's not what that's saying.
What me and Johnny are saying is why if you're Mars, why do you go through all the trouble of complicating gravity, which you say all the time, by hitting us with some unknown foreign Reddit analytic that no one knows, and you say all this stuff, you go all this trouble explaining guarded by and when you could have just used the term that you use all the time, which is gravity.
Or be a real
I guess you're
basketball
basically
fan.
saying you could
you
just
should be
put it in simpler terms, like
be a real
Donovan
basketball
draws
fan.
the toughest. Donovan draws the tougher
Donovan Mitchell is the scouting
defensive
report.
assignment
Say
compared
that.
to Garland.
Just say he's the scouting report. He's the scouting report. That's real basketball talk. He's the scouting report. Donovan Mitchell is the scouting report versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. When Miami Heat are going to be going up against them, their main focus will be stopping Donovan Mitchell, not Garland. That's where he should have went.
I mean, that's a simpler way to put it.
No, yeah, but you can't be simple if you're Mars, because he's trying to win a debate. He can't do that because saying that doesn't beat the fact that this man used drives, assist points per game. This man went and talked about what the coach is doing. That's what threw Mars off. That Jordan came with real basketball talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both real. You could say one point can be stronger than the other, and both points still be real basketball talk.
Yeah, you can remember, because the point is that it's not to sway everybody. It's
because
to sway
I think Mars even conceded when he was speaking with you, Lamont. He conceded that first round. Like, I could see how you could say he got the best of me that round.
That's him being condescending.
His contention. You think so?
Yes, I know Mars very well. He's very condescending.
I mean, that's that British shit. That's just what they do.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But
he still get the L.
No, he won the debate, didn't he?
No, he lost. That's why he's upset.
He lost? No, he won.
No, he won the debate.
Yeah, he won the debate, hey, Johnny.
He won the debate and still crashed out?
Yeah. He crashed out. Because I was on the only judge that said he lost 3-0.
Look at hey Johnny, yo. He's stupid.
Wild, man.
Wait a minute. He won the debate and he still got mad at you for what? Like, that's crazy.
Hey Johnny, you don't understand. That's a Michael Jordan. That's a Michael Jordan level of competitiveness.
No, you know what?
You're about perfection. It ain't enough that I just won.
He got LeBron as the GOAT. He got LeBron as the GOAT. The other day I saw him post a video.
He do? Oh,
yeah,
he tripping.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what makes it so crazy, because I watched him debate Jordan's the GOAT, and he said that I'll debate Jordan's the GOAT, I'll debate Kareem's the GOAT. That's what he said.
Yeah, he's saying if you give him a debate topic, he'll argue it.
That's as they get.
He's basically saying that, nigga, I'm so nice, I could sell water to a whale. That's basically what he's saying.
But nigga,
that's what he's flexing. He flexing. He's saying, I'm that nigga.
Yeah, that's what Lamont said, because only a dumb whale's gonna buy fucking water from somebody. Because I'm a fucking whale. I need to buy water from you.
And here's something else on Basketball Index right here. It says, after it talks about all of the matchup difficulty and the guarded by matchup difficulty at the very bottom.
Hey, Lamont researching his ass off.
No, because he didn't think anybody would actually go pay for it. So this is what it says right here. Because if March paid for it, he had to have seen all this. It literally says at the very bottom of the page, it says matchup difficulty and guarded by matchup difficulty are contextual stats, not arguments. It says it should support a discussion about defensive assignments, not replace it. It says overusing it or applying it outside its design often creates misleading narratives, especially in player versus player or team versus team arguments. It literally says it on B-Ball Index.
Yeah, but see, I don't think he used it in an absolute way, the way you're framing it.
He used it in a player versus player debate.
Yeah, is a supporting to support his argument.
Not meant to be used that way.
He didn't. No, it said it's not meant to be
And
used like.
what was that argument? What was his argument? What was he? How was he describing Donovan Mitchell's importance? What was? Because we know exactly.
He's basically saying in high leverage situations, right? Particularly in the playoffs.
And he never said the situation. He never mentioned the playoffs.
He did. He actually did use the term leverage.
Let him paraphrase. I just want to make sure we get.
Yeah, he did use the term. He did use the term leverage.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
basically, I'm talking about playoff riser. He's a playoff riser. Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. We know that about Donovan Mitchell. So he did mention the playoffs, by the way. So he's basically saying that when it comes down to it, when all the money's on the table, Donovan, who's a dude who teams are going to be locked in on, who the scout report is going to be, centered around, and you feel me? And he's the one who's going to. He's going to. I'm using simpler terms. So to communicate, you feel me?
Does the Earth center around the gravitational force of the sun?
Well, Kyrie saying no gravity. Kyrie saying no gravity. So
does the moon circulate around the central gravity of the Earth?
According to Kyrie says there's no gravity whatsoever. You feel me? So if Kyrie said it,
Peter,
I'm rocking with Kyrie.
You saying all of this stuff, especially the direction you were just about to go, it still leans toward Jordan, who created a better argument for the team offense. Everything that you're talking about is just about how good Donovan Mitchell is.
Yeah, we're not arguing. We're not arguing what argument is better.
Hold on. The argument was about who has the bigger impact on the overall success of that offense this year, because that team has significantly improved this year. They had the same Donovan Mitchell last year, but they were not this good offensively. The only thing that have changed is Garland's role and the coach. And so when we look at the changes, Donovan Mitchell is not doing anything significantly different offensively than he was in any other year that he's played. But Garland is.
Right.
So when we talk about who's having the biggest impact on this offense, I have to side with the person that says Garland, because he's the anomaly right now that's changing everything.
See, this is the analogy I'd like to draw. I'd probably compare it to the Doug Collins Bulls versus the Phil Jackson Bulls, right? So 88-89 J, right, with Pippen on the team, was centered around basically Jordan being this heliocentric, kind of one-man army type of dude, right? And then once they got with a more structured offense, that put the ball in Pippen's hand more, allowing him to playmate more. And from a synergistic standpoint, that worked out much better for the Chicago Bulls as a team, right? And in terms of difference from year to year, that was that represented a much bigger difference in team performance than Jordan's dominance as an individual player. Yet and still, if I were to make an assessment and say who is the most impactful and most important offensive player on the 90, it would still be Jordan, despite all of the on and off and putting the ball in Pippen's hand, resulting in more, the offense flowing better. You get what I'm saying? You get the argument that I'm making? Even if you disagree with it, do you get where I'm going or what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get what you're saying. I get everything you're saying. But my point is, and what Lamont is trying to express is that the fact that Mars, first of all, what happened was Mars was asking why Lamont chose the things that he chose. And Lamont expressed those things. Like he was saying, like, you use this defensive matchup, a percentile that was completely off. So that's what that started, because obviously Mars thinks that when he's using these numbers, he's using them correctly. And Lamont showed him how, you used it incorrectly and you didn't state it correctly. And now you're trying to, re-debate it or whatever. But at the end of the day, he was trying to express how Donovan Mitchell has the gravity on the offense, because everything is going to go towards him. The defense, everything's going to go towards him. And this is how I know gravity is a new term and a new logic that's used in basketball. And Lamont will agree with me, because in the 1900s, there was no such thing as a gravity. Every man had to guard your man. Listen.
I thought you were talking about in science.
No. I'm talking about in basketball. I'm talking about in basketball. There is no idea that you're going to put 3 people on Michael Jordan. You're not putting 3 people on Larry Bird. You're not putting 3 people on Kareem.
No, but you'll run doubles and triples at them.
You run double teams because with double teams you can rotate.
But that's what gravity is. The term didn't exist.
No, that's not gravity. There's no gravity in that. The idea of, again, because the idea of gravity is, like I said with Stephen Curry, where you can draw 2 or 3 men which you don't even have the ball. You can't do that.
It works for on ball too. It's not just without the ball. Lamont, am I right about that?
That's what we're trying to explain to you. No, it doesn't work on ball, bro. It doesn't work on ball because it doesn't work on ball because you're not going to send 3 motherfuckers at Shaq.
What?
You're gonna double team Shaq with 1 man. He's gonna either come from the weak side.
You don't plan to triple team him. You don't plan to triple team him, but oftentimes
3 options, bro.
3 people will be draped on him.
Bro, you gotta let me speak, bro. You gotta let me fucking speak. Again, it wasn't called gravity because he's not drawing everybody there. There's not everybody. You're only drawing 1 defender. You have to guard your man. The fucking big man has to guard him. The only reason I'm double teaming is because the 1 big man can't. That's why they weren't sending double teams. They're not sending double teams with Akeem Olajuwon on Shaq because Akeem could guard him. That's it.
That's not true.
That is true. That's what they were doing.
He needs less help than other centers, but it's never just a straight up 1-on-1. Ellie and those guys.
It doesn't matter. There's no fucking gravity. There's no fucking gravity. It doesn't exist. It's bullshit. You're not drawing 4 guys closer to Shaq because you can't. The rules apply that you must guard your fucking man. So there was no such thing as gravity. But due to the effectiveness of players shooting in the last 10 to 15 years, the idea of taking more than 1 man to chase a guy without the ball because he can get open because he's running around screens like a Stephen fucking Curry created a gravity. Meaning now the guy who's getting screened and the guy who's fucking guarding the screener has to no longer worry about a screener and go run after Stephen fucking Curry. And Curry don't even have the ball.
Am I gonna have to Google gravity to help you out, Johnny?
You can. It's not a real basketball term. You're gonna go Google gravity.
You struggle with simple concepts.
No, you're not understanding what I'm telling you. I just told you. Just said you needed 3 guys to create gravity. When it was 1 guy, it couldn't be gravity.
No, I didn't say you need 3 guys.
Wait. Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
You just sat here and said, "Hey, Johnny, let me drag you to this. Let me help you understand this. If it's 1 guy as the main defender, it can't be considered gravity. He has to draw multiple defenders, correct?
Right.
Okay.
That's not 3 guys, though, necessarily.
Drawing 2 guys is not gravity. That's what
it is.
Double team is not gravity. That's what I'm saying. That's not gravity. Calling somebody saying every offensive player in NBA history has drawn double teams. That doesn't mean you have. So how do you measure somebody's gravity? The difference is the amount of players that are paying attention to it. So you have to go to 3 guys. Like you said with Giannis, you have to put 3 guys and a wall to stop Giannis.
Yeah, in transition.
In general, you need 3. You can't do it with 2. 2 man is not going to be enough.
In the half court, not so much. In transition, they say
when half court, it's the wall. It's a wall.
You hear them say it all the time when they're getting back in transition. They're coached to form a wall. You've heard that before. No, I'm not making that up.
No. When they give Giannis the ball at the top of the key or at the top of the 3-point line, and they play that 5-out offense, and they were playing winning the championship, and they were doing that. They put a wall there. That's why they had to get more shooters because the team put a wall there. They had a guy on him and 2 guys on the elbow. That's a wall. That means Giannis can't dribble left. He can't dribble right. He can't dribble forward. He has to pass.
That would be an example of gravity.
That required 3 men. That's not double teaming because a double team, Giannis should dribble around a double team. That's not gravity. But the gravity requires 3 men or more. It requires you to basically turn your whole defense focus on this 1 person. That's the point.
Well, you said it's got to be off ball or it's not gravity, which is crazy.
No. I'm telling you the difference is that what I told you was the 1900s you didn't have gravity because you had to stick on the man. You couldn't get off of a man. You can't gravitate nowhere but to the man that you have to guard. You
couldn't play in between. You couldn't play in between, but you could.
You can't play in between. If I am on the weak side, I'm gonna stay on the weak side.
You weren't allowed to play in between and stunt and all of that, but you can go.
If a guy's running around the screen, if a guy's running around the screen, you can't double team that guy.
We mean blitz him? Oh, you mean off the ball? You're saying off the ball.
When Reggie Miller's running around that screen, whoever Dale Davis,
you couldn't double. You couldn't double.
Okay,
you couldn't double off the ball.
That's
gravity what you're talking about.
That's the gravity you guys are talking about today, because that's the gravity.
Because again, you're limiting it strictly to off-ball gravity.
No, I'm limiting it to when you use it on Stephen Curry, because when it was Shaq, it didn't exist. There was no such thing as called gravity.
The term didn't exist.
Draw 3-4 defenders. 4 eyes wasn't watching Shaq.
Okay, hey Johnny, in science, what is gravity? Let's go away from basketball for just a second. In science, what is gravity? What is a gravitational pull?
Gravity is the force the force that pulls an object towards another object.
There you go.
Okay,
right.
wait.
So
wait.
No,
wait. So what is the object? We have 2 objects. We have gravity in between them. In basketball, name the first object.
The first object would be player A, or the person on offense.
The player on offense, the offensive player. What is object B? What is the second object?
Player B, defensive guy. Random defensive guy.
That's one-on-one. What gravity existed? What gravity existed? There's only one player. It's one-on-one. Player B. What's the gravity? Right. There is no gravity.
But when you could make an argument.
Gravity, to have that gravitational force, an object must be able to create that force that forces the other object to come to it. So that player A, right, automatically has a B player. There's always somebody guarding him. Guarding him. So there's no gravitational pull. This A no longer has a gravitational effect on it, because they're 2 peas in a pod. It's no longer gravitational effect. So the gravitation that you're trying to use with the scientific term in a basketball terminology means that this player is not only dragging the one player, he's dragging the defense. That's the gravitation. Stephen Curry doesn't just take one player and force him to be drawn to him. He draws all 5 defenders to him. All 5 guys are paying attention to Stephen Curry because he's running around the court, he's getting screens, and we must guard him. So he's creating a gravitational force that we've never seen before.
So in terms of the amount of eyes that are on him, basically.
And the only reason you say that with Stephen Curry is because
I'm asking.
Yeah, no, not just the eyes. Because like I said, if Stephen Curry's running around a screen without the ball, you could put 3 guys on him. That's the difference. Same thing with like I said, when you have a Giannis. When Giannis has the ball and he's at the top of the key, you have to put 3 guys in front of him to prevent him from going anywhere. That gravity that he has is different. But again, I don't call it gravity. It's a defensive strategy. But you didn't have that.
Is this a term?
You didn't have that in the 1900s. Because
they didn't have that terminology. They didn't have
no,
that terminology.
You didn't have that. It was no need for it, because no player had such a force that all 5 players had to gravitate towards him. Because the rules.
What about Wilt?
Didn't apply. Because Wilt, again, played in an era with illegal defense. He claims that they used to go crazy. That's why he left college. Wilt Chamberlain played one-on-one basketball. The advantage that he had
Johnny,
was
that's another thing I want to talk about, right? Because you got to understand, illegal defense prior to it being outlawed in the early 2000s is similar to like defensive holding in football, right? So just because there's a holding rule in football doesn't mean that what they tell you about holding. There's literally holding on every play. If you watch the 96 Sonics, for example, when they guarded Mike, they weren't honoring those illegal defensive rules. They were forcing the refs. Listen, if you want to call that shit every minute, go ahead. But they know defenses know, that there's no way that you can officiate a game that way. So players will manipulate the rules. So even though they have a rule that says, hey, you got to be within arm's length of your defender, you think them motherfuckers was adhering to that shit strictly like how y'all think? Like, well, you couldn't double off the ball, so that's not how that works.
They did it so much and got it called so much that the second one became a free throw and became a technical of some sort. Yes. They called it every game, and it was applied.
Do you know?
It was
that Phil Jackson? Do you know that Phil Jackson complained, and this was a big part of the reason why the Sonics were so effective.
Phil Jackson is a liar. They didn't play zone. It's a lie. You're going to tell me something I already heard before. He said they played zone, and he lied. He lied. Don't tell me that. He lied.
It might benefit the audience.
There's nothing to benefit. It's a lie. I don't let my audience hear lies. It's a lie. You go show me film of any team playing zone. I can guarantee you they didn't.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. Matter of fact,
I can guarantee you they didn't. I can guarantee you they didn't. I can put money on this, my friend. I can guarantee you no team. No, I can guarantee you no NBA team played zone defense before 2000. In fact, most teams didn't play zone defense until the mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me ask you this, right? My analogy. Can you at least give me this? Credit me on the football and the holding analogy in football. Was that a good analogy? Being that there's,
they didn't get rid of holding rules. The holding rules still exist in football.
It's still there.
Holding still holds.
But
they got rid of illegal defense. They got rid of it. It doesn't exist.
Well, holding, you're not allowed to hold in football by rule. Is that right or wrong?
They never got rid of that rule.
They never did.
Exactly.
The point, but it happens on every play.
No, you get called in every game. A team gets called for holding. Every team, every game gets called for defensive holding every time.
But there are many. It happens on every play. So is there a call every play? Is there a holding call on every play?
And it becomes a detriment to your team.
See, you're being stubborn.
I'm not, nigga. Because you're asking me that teams decide to break rules, although it's detriment to them winning. You're basically saying teams don't care about winning, nigga. I care about winning, so I gotta follow the fucking rules.
No,
because if I don't follow the rules, I am more susceptible to losing.
Not true. Your ability as a listen to me. Guys like Draymond, guys like Ron Artest, a big part of why they're so successful as defensive players is that they have the ability to bend the rules, to use little tricks, right? That the officials.
How did that bending go when he got suspended in the
finals?
How did that bending go when he got suspended in the finals? How did that go?
So, Johnny, it's not going to work every time. But the man is a four-time champ.
And he's not a dirty player. He's not a dirty player.
He's won a defense. I didn't say he was. He is dirty. Like, don't do that now.
He's not a dirty player. He's not a dirty player.
That's besides the point.
He gets fined for everything he did wrong. Every time he kicks somebody, every time he does something silly, he got in trouble for it. Yes.
Yeah, if he does something over the top, like
he gets in trouble every time.
You're kicking somebody in the nuts or something like that.
And he got fined.
Let me give you an example, right? Let's say you're on the low block with a player, right? He's a bigger player than you, right? Defensive guys like Draymond, they know if they could put their back to the official and use their inside hand and put it on that player's hip flexor and press it down, that player won't be able to get off the floor. But you can do it in such a way using that inside hand that the refs won't be able to readily see it. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a trick. Now, that wouldn't necessarily be considered dirty, but you are bending the rules. Because if the refs see that, that is a foul.
You get what I'm saying? It's a foul if the ref calls it. The ref don't call it.
If they see it, if they catch it.
It's not a foul.
Right? And sometimes they'll even see it and not call it. Right? Just for the sake of the game flowing. Because they're not going to call. They can't call. I wouldn't call that dirty. Something like, all right, like what Bruce Bowen used to.
Not a dirty birdie. He's not a dirty player.
I didn't say he was. So using tricks of the trade is not dirty. I wouldn't consider that. Yeah, I'm not saying he's dirty. Right? So like going up on a player when they're in the air, like what Zaza did to Kawhi, or what Bruce Bowen used to frequently do to shooters, that's dirty. But grabbing a guy's shorts real quick when you're in a scrum, right? And you don't get caught, or pressing down on a player's hip flexor, or giving a guy a little bump when he's on the baseline so he goes out of bounds. Those sort of things. That's not dirty, but you are bending the rules. And again, great defensive players.
All of those players that do that on a consistent basis are detrimental towards their team. Everybody says that about Draymond
I disagree.
Green. They say that about Rasheed Wallace. Nobody sits here and says Draymond Green is instrumental towards the fucking Golden State winning championships, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
What?
Stop that shit, bro. Fuck.
Hold on. Let me check the chat. Cause you You just killed yourself.
No, I don't.
So
Go check the
y'all
chat.
agree with that? People don't say that Draymond is instrumental to Golden
People
State.
People don't like Draymond Green. People don't like Draymond Green.
I didn't say if people liked him.
That's why they don't like him. That's why they don't like him. They don't think he has anything to do with them. They don't. Commentators. Nobody listens to commentators
because they don't know basketball.
There's not a zesty Jeffrey that you're going to talk to that's going to sit here and tell you that Stephen Curry is going to win those championships because he has Draymond Green. Like, that's the point. Real basketball fans understand what Draymond Green brings to the basketball table.
Right.
We understand. Yeah, because we're not talking that bullshit.
Casuals? Why are you bringing up casuals?
No, because you're the one who started this conversation all the way to the right. Because this is what y'all do best. Y'all get cooked and y'all start a conversation outside of nowhere. Y'all bringing up all this other stuff just because the fact that you can't accept that illegal defense helped Michael Jordan.
Sure, and no defensive 3 seconds helps today's players.
It's the same rules. I can stay in the paint.
There was no defensive 3 back then.
I can stay in the paint as long as I'm guarding a man in the paint. The only way I can't be in the paint is
And
it was the same thing back then. It was the same thing back then. Yes, it was. If my man was not in the paint, I can't be in the paint. It's the same shit.
But there was always a guy in the paint, Johnny. That's how the game was played back then.
Again, and that's why today's NBA, there's somebody in the paint, I can be in the paint as long as I want to. So that means there's no difference. The only difference is that now you have to come out here and guard me in today's NBA because I'm good. Not back then you didn't. Back then, you can be Robert Parrish and a bum 27 feet away from the rim, and I got to be out there guarding you. In today's NBA, you can't leave somebody out there unless they're suck at shooting the basketball. Like one of those guys, like how the Lakers play. Let that man shoot. He shoots on the 30%.
Like a Draymond Green or something like
that.
Yeah,
let him shoot a three-pointer. Exactly.
Or like they were talking about Roberson back in like the 2010s.
No, you can't leave Roberson because obviously if Roberson's in 50% of his open three-pointers,
they did leave him though. Even when he was making the shots, they kept leaving him.
No, they didn't
care.
No, they kept leaving him because at the end of the day, they're not. Back then, the teams are not shooting like that. But today's NBA takes advantage of that, and that's what they would do today. They would tell Robertson, "Yeah, you're going to hit more than 2. You're going to take more than 2 or 3 3-pointers per game now because you're going to be a lot more open, and you better hit them." And he's going to hit them. He's going to hit them at 50%. After a while, you're going to realize, guess what? I got to stick fucking Robertson. I can't leave Robertson. We have to double team from somebody else. That's because the real problem is not you're not worrying about Robertson because you got to worry about Westbrook or Kevin Durant. Which I think at the one year they were talking about, it was just Westbrook.
So what's your personal opinion, Johnny, insofar as Draymond Green's how integral he was to them winning championships? What's your personal opinion on that?
That's why they signed him to what he was because Stephen Curry can't be who Stephen Curry is without Draymond Green. He's the reason why Stephen Curry is the way he is. Forget the word success. Stephen Curry won't be successful without Draymond Green.
Right.
Forget
so
the Warriors.
So you agree that he's integral. So why did you say what you said 3 minutes ago?
Yeah, because nobody thinks that. Nobody who thinks the way you think.
Well,
thinks
you
that.
do. You do.
Yeah, I also believe that in the 1900s, the defense was different. You don't. That was the reason you brought Draymond Green in there. Because you try to make it seem like Draymond Green changed the idea that illegal defense changes everything. No, because illegal defense means what? Illegal defense. Just because Draymond Green does a sneaky stuff doesn't mean that players in the 1900s could get away with illegal defense. They couldn't get away with it.
You know what I'm going to do for you? You know what I'm going to do for you, Johnny? Because you said I couldn't do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of gifts from that 96 finals, right? And I'm going to put it in the Discord where they were playing illegal defense and it wasn't called. So I'm a show and prove. How about that?
I'm gonna show it to you right now. I'm gonna just show it to you right now and show you why you don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna condense 6 games, 6 48-minute games. You're gonna show that.
I'm not gonna condense 6 48 games. I'm gonna show you exactly why. Back then they couldn't do what we're talking about now. Why everything is different now. That's why I don't know. Wait, don't worry. I'm gonna show it to you. Give me a second here. It's here somewhere. What was it? FYF. What was it? That was last week's show here. Okay, there it is. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to put it here. I put it in the wrong area. Give me a second here. Let me bring this up for you here, sir, so that you can see this. 19. All right, here we go. All right, you see this right here? All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's bring this up here. All right, so You see everybody's guarding a man, right, Peter? Are you there, Peter? Unmute yourself.
Hold on, I was in the chat. Go ahead.
All right, check this out. Everybody's guarding a man, correct? You see that, right? Here we go. LeBron gets the ball at the top of the key. The Cleveland Cavaliers will send 3 guys to the weak side of the floor. LeBron will bring the ball to the left side of the basketball floor. That will be the strong side. So LeBron comes here. The ball's on the strong side. You see there are 3 Cavalier players on the weak side.
It's on the weak side now.
No, the weak side is where the ball is. I mean, the strong side is where the ball is.
Strong side where the ball is, right, yeah.
Okay, the ball's so on the strong side you have 2 Cavaliers, and on the weak side you have 3 Cavalier players. Weak side meaning on the other side of the floor.
Right.
So you have Ilgauskas sitting down there at the low block. You have Varejao at the elbow, and you got Delonte West at the wing on the weak side, right? There's all defenders are guarding their man. Here we go. LeBron gets the ball here. Now clearly, you can clearly see that Rashard Lewis is in the paint. The reason Rashard Lewis is in the paint is because he is guarding Varejao.
Right.
That's not arm's distance. In the 90s, you can do this. You didn't. Arm's distance was what you like they said, but you can sag.
I'm familiar with
you
the
can
rule.
Sag. You can sag.
Hey,
you can sag. Okay, again, no, I'm just saying arm's distance is not sagging. Arm distance is playing close defense, but they allow you to sag on defense. So you can be a good 2-3 feet away, maybe 4 feet away, but once you are out of position, meaning if Rashard Lewis decides to come on this strong side of the floor, he will be playing illegal defense. Now watch this.
You see in the 90s he'd be playing illegal defense, right?
Yes, in the 90s. In the 90s, basically, he is limited. He is not allowed to go. He's not allowed to get on the strong side of the block. He has to stay on the weak side of that block. Even being in the paint, he still can't do it. You see where Dwight Howard is. Dwight Howard in the 90s, 1900s was not allowed to pass that spot. He cannot go. He cannot even get into the paint because his man, where he's at right there is as far as he can go. He can't go no further than that. Now, if Varejao or Ilgauskas pop out 27 or 22 feet from the rim and they pop out, if Ilgauskas pops up to the corner, without a doubt, Dwight Howard has to move, and he can't even touch the baseline. He has to get closer.
Right.
And Varejao, same thing. He would drag that man. Now Rashard Lewis can't be below the free throw line. That would clear out the entire left side of the basketball floor for LeBron James. If that was the 1900s, giving Turkoglu no chance. Now you would have only one chance to double team. Now the double team obviously has to come from the weak side because you can't send the guy sticking Mo Williams, or Mo Williams has an open 3-pointer, which is why you let Mo Williams and LeBron do this action. But watch what Dwight Howard does here. Instantly, Dwight Howard goes there. You see where Dwight Howard is, sir? That is illegal. That is illegal defense. He is not allowed to do that if it was 1900s basketball. No team in the 1900s ever did this.
You couldn't be that blatant about it. Right.
You could never do this. Not only do that, look, he's going to go back to LeBron. He's not going to move. He doesn't have to leave. This again, they're still playing man. Turkoglu's on LeBron. What's his name? I think that's Petrus is on Williams. They got the other guy, Courtney Lee on West, and Rashard Lewis is playing 2-on-1. He's sticking Varejao and he's sticking Ilgauskas. While Dwight Howard is playing a zone. That's what we mean by playing zone in today's. Not that everybody's playing zone. Dwight Howard is playing zone. His job is to prevent LeBron James from getting to the paint. Is cut off, sir. Y'all saying he's not even in the paint, but there's no paint for LeBron to drive. LeBron can't go to the paint to the right because there's a defender there protecting the driving lane. LeBron can't go baseline because Dwight Howard's there. So this is where you now have to become a ball facilitator, which your boy Jordan couldn't do because Jordan can't make passes like that. That's why Joker is so. That's why. Hold on, wait. That's why Joker is so deadly. Because when Joker's playing the game of basketball, whether you put him on the low block or the high block or on the top of the key, he makes good passes and he can do all. That's what makes LeBron James so great as well. But Jordan's never seen defenses like this. He's never seen a defense like this a day in his life, ever, because of illegal defense. And that's the difference. That's the gravity that I'm talking about. You see how the gravity draws everybody towards LeBron? There's three defenders coming to LeBron.
Oh, so that's what you mean
when
you
the
said
term,
that.
yes, that's where the term
didn't
gravity
exist
comes
in,
from. Exactly, it didn't
in
exist
the '90s because you weren't allowed to play in space like that.
You wasn't allowed to deal with that type of gravity. You had no choice but to let LeBron James cook one-on-one with Turkoglu or double team him. That was the only choice. To get the ball out of his hands. That was it. You had no other choice.
Right.
That's
right.
the point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, insofar as being able to still be getting it, to still get in the paint, despite playing against defenses like that, right? I've seen one player be able to do it in that same era as LeBron, and that player was Dwayne Wade. Now, Dwayne Wade is, of course, a significantly smaller player, right? What
you seen Dwayne Wade do LeBron couldn't do? Say that again?
Be able to consistently beat those sort of rotations or get into the paint with frequency in the half court, despite defenses loading up like what you just showed in that example.
False. We continue.
Not false.
No, that's false. That's completely
he
false.
could. You see how you said, for example, you
Completely
said
false.
in that instance right there, with Dwight Howard standing right there, your only option basically is to be a facilitator. But I've seen many times where Dwayne Wade will, on that same side, that same strong side action where you're on the wing right there, he'd have a guy come set a pick, Mo Williams or whoever, he'd come off that pick, and he'd some sort of way he'd get downhill. And with Dwight Howard standing right there.
That's why LeBron gets picks. That's why LeBron gets picked. Yeah, you're going to get a pick. That's a different scenario. Yeah, you took him on something different. That's not the same shit.
Wait a minute, but he did utilize. Go back to the action right there. Because I could have swore.
No, he didn't utilize.
Mo said Mo was about. Go back to it.
Mo was not doing it. That's not what Mo was doing.
Go back to it.
Look, here we go. Here, this what. Look, go right back to it. Here we go again. The action goes, LeBron James will get the ball at the top of the key. Right here, he would pass off to Ding. He's going to get a dribble handoff.
Okay, there's a DHO. Okay.
That's it. And right here, what you're basically...
Keep letting it...
No, yeah, right here, again, see, don't tell me keep playing because you got to understand. You see, this is what you guys do. You guys are so confused. You say that... you take this walk with me, nigga, okay? The play is for LeBron to have the isolation. It's the play right here is called for LeBron James to take advantage of Turkoglu. So at this point, Mo Williams' job is to clear up the space so that Mo Williams' man does not clog up the driving lanes that they are created for LeBron James. But due to the fact that they can play zone, meaning there is no illegal defense rules other than a 3-second rule, that means now I don't have to have Dwight Howard stay on the weak side. Dwight Howard can come help.
Got it. I got that part already.
Okay,
can I say something?
That's why he passes it out back to Williams, and Williams gives him the ball to reset. Because now from this position here, LeBron James understand. Okay, now I don't have nothing. See, look at the defender. Look at Mo Williams' defender. Mo Williams is supposed to be far away so that his man is there. And only reason Mo Williams' man has to go stick Mo Williams is because Mo Williams could shoot the three-pointer. That right? You don't want to leave Mo Williams open for a wide open three. He's a good catch and shoot player, right? So you have to do that. But again, Dwight Howard is blowing up this play because Dwight Howard is clogging up the driving lane. There is no driving lane. Once LeBron James beat Turkoglu, all he's going to enter is another defender who's going to.
Got it. We got that. You said that. You said this about 4 or 5 times. I know.
Okay. Now, the reason I brought up the ball facilitation is because from here now LeBron James no longer becomes your scorer.
That's pretty much your only option at this point.
And you have to be good at this because to make this pass with the ball pressure on you, with Dwight Howard clogging up the driving lanes, with the passing lanes being clogged up as is, that's why Elgauskas comes up, right? So that Rashard Lewis has to guard him, and the backdoor cut is easy, and LeBron can make this pass and make it a very simple play, which your boy Jordan couldn't do.
Right. You know what Jordan could do though? Particularly in his peak years, prime years, similar to what Wade would do. So LeBron is gonna when LeBron does that zipper cut and comes topside, right? And he gets that DHO from Mo Williams. the way how a Wade or a Jordan is going to attack that DHO they're going to go a lot quicker, right? And be able to get downhill before Dwight Howard can even start coming across. So they're coming off that DHO a lot hard. And I could show you know what I'm going to do? You know what? This is actually, I like this. This is fun right here. Because you know what series I'm going to use too? I'm going to use the 2010 Eastern Conference semifinals and show you how they guarded LeBron, right? The schematics they used, because it's for the most part it's the same, and what they did with Wade and why Wade was able to be so much more successful against that 2010 Celtics defense than LeBron was.
Where was Wade more successful when they got swept? How?
Well, Wade is an individual, right? I didn't say the Heat were successful. I said Wade was more successful.
How was he more successful?
Hey Johnny, they didn't get swept. You forgot that Wade had that 46-point game in Game 4? Yeah, you ain't no real Heat fan.
But they got swept one of those years. It was 09 or 10. Which one was it?
Neither one. They got swept in 07 by the Bulls. You're probably talking about that. Yeah, you ain't no real Heat fan, bro. I
am a real Heat fan. That was 15 years ago, bro. 15 years ago, bro. You bringing up nonsense. That's what y'all like to do. They like to bring up shit that happened 15 fucking years ago, and we're all supposed to remember that shit.
But you know what?
The Heat lost. The Heat lost 4-1. Okay, the Heat lost 4-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dwayne Wade averaged 33 points per game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.2 steals per game. The Miami Heat lost 4-1.
And what did he shoot? What did he shoot from the field?
He shot 56% from the field.
There you go. Now, what are LeBron's numbers against the same team?
In 2010, yeah, they definitely played LeBron James differently. Let me go to that series there. In 2010, LeBron James, Eastern. No, it wasn't Eastern Conference Finals. It was Eastern Conference semis. LeBron James. This is the one where LeBron James averaged 27 points per game, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So LeBron James averaged more rebounds, more assists, more steals, more blocks. He just averaged less points, and LeBron shot 45% from the field.
Right. So you know what? This is fun. We're gonna table this. You know, I'm gonna hop off, and I'm gonna actually get some. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna get some game film, and I'm not saying that Wade was this. I'm not pointing that out to say that Wade is better than LeBron or anything like that. The point that I'm making is there's more than one way to attack defense, that sort of defense, other than doing what LeBron did on that play. You get what I'm saying? Because you could come off that DHO with a lot more pace and get downhill. So by the time Dwight starts coming across, you already have momentum going towards him. Now you can hit him with a Euro. You could draw. There's other ways to skin the cat. Is what I'm saying.
No, there's not. Bro, you guys really talk basketball like you really know it. You know it. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. If I've never heard one in my life, bro.
There's multiple ways to skin the cat. Hey, Johnny,
you don't know the game plan. You don't know why they did that play. You don't know why that was the first play drawn. Why you don't know nothing. That's you don't know nothing. Like for you to say just because, and mind you, they had a successful fucking play. That the nerve of you to say that LeBron had to do more when he made the right fucking play.
No, I'm saying you could do. There's more than one way to get to the right answer. Would you agree with that?
No, not when you're LeBron James, Johnny, who gets down the hill better than Dwayne Wade, who can attack the basket better than Dwayne Wade, who can do all those things better than Dwayne Wade.
Not in the half court. Not in the half court.
Yes, in the half court.
So let me ask you a question. What better first step? Better first step in their primes, Dwayne Wade or LeBron James?
Dwayne Wade is not as good as LeBron James at driving the basketball.
I didn't say he was. I just asked.
First step, LeBron.
Okay, I disagree.
First step, LeBron.
I disagree.
You can disagree. You have nothing to prove it.
That's fine. That's fine. I said I'm gonna put together something for you, and I must live. I'm gonna stay by my word. I'm gonna put together some GIF images to illustrate it. Right. So you disagree on the first step. Excuse me. You believe LeBron has a quicker first step than Dwayne Wade in his prime. I strenuously disagree. But that's fine.
Way better.
How about agility in the half court?
LeBron James. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. Dwayne Wade doesn't do nothing better than LeBron James. Nothing. He doesn't do nothing on the basketball court better than LeBron James. Nothing.
Okay, let's do this. How about better first step? Prime Iverson or LeBron James?
LeBron James, nigga. What the fuck are you doing? LeBron James, nigga.
Okay, that's ridiculous, but okay. Quicker athlete. Who's quicker? The little guard or the 6'8", 250-pound behemoth?
The 6'8", 200-pound behemoth that's running like the 6'2" guard. That's
in the open court. That's speed. That's being fast.
Any aspect.
Could LeBron play?
What do you think cutting is? LeBron's one of the greatest cutters in NBA history, if not the greatest.
Could LeBron play slot receiver? Is Wes Welker quicker than Randy Moss? Yes. Is he faster than Randy Moss? No. Do you get the point that I'm making?
He's not quicker than Randy Moss.
He is. See, that's why you don't understand. You don't
Welker's
understand.
not quicker than Randy Moss. He just played with the Patriots and they had cheating offense.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
Well, you think Wes Welker? You think Wes Welker was a non-drafted or drafted wherever the fuck he was drafted at because he didn't have none of these athletic abilities. He had the fucking durability to play.
He's
football,
nowhere
man.
near. He's nowhere near Randy Moss as a football. He's nowhere near Randy Moss.
He said Wes Welker.
Wes Welker.
Randy Moss, nigga,
he's
Randy Moss,
or you could use Amendola, or you could use whoever. Right? Are any of those players?
None.
On the level of a Randy Moss? Of course, nowhere. They're not in the same galaxy.
I'm talking about quickness.
He's quicker than Randy Moss.
Nah, Randy Moss is quicker.
Do you know what the difference between quickness and speed is?
Yes, the ability to change directions and in faster pace. Yes,
right.
Randy Moss.
He's quicker.
Randy
no,
Moss.
dude.
Randy Moss.
No, dude.
You didn't say Antonio Brown. Nigga, you said Wes Welker. You said Amendola.
Yes, but that's a draw. I didn't use Antonio Brown because I want to use a player that's significantly under Randy Moss as an overall player to really drive home the point.
So
to just say that he is better in just that one small facet of the game. He's quicker.
Nobody's quicker than LeBron.
Little like Iverson is quicker. Iverson is quicker than LeBron James. That's not an argument.
2009 LeBron, bro. Do you remember 2009 LeBron? Do you remember that? Do you remember LeBron at 21 years old, bro?
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about 2009, right? Since y'all love the box, y'all love the box. You could glaze later. Since you love the box score stats, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Dwayne Wade bested him in points per game, assists per game.
No, he didn't do this per game.
Oh, yes, he did. Look it up. In 2009, look it up.
You mind the playoffs or for the season?
2009 in the regular season. Look it up. So let me finish my point. Dwayne Wade scored more than him, had more assists, had more blocks, more steals, and shot a better field goal percentage. Is that wrong? Am I making it up? Or
I gotta go look this up.
Go ahead, look it up.
Cause y'all love making shit up.
You say you a Heat fan. Like, how is this new to you? Look it up.
How is it new? Because I never compared LeBron James to Dwayne Wade's numbers. Y'all niggas like to do this stupid shit. I don't do none of this shit. I don't need none of this shit to explain basketball. The only reason I go get numbers, the only reason I go get these fucking numbers is because you guys don't believe my eyes. I don't need fucking numbers to explain basketball. Max sees game perfectly fucking fine.
You finished looking it up yet?
No, hold on. I'm still talking. Don't rush me, bro. Don't fucking rush me. Let me fucking look up these stupid ass fucking numbers that you got me looking up here in 2009. So Dwayne Wade.
How you say hurry in Creole?
2009, Dwayne Wade averaged 30 points. He averaged 7.5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block per game. Let's go to LeBron James.
2.2 steals, 1.1 blocks.
LeBron James in 2009. Okay, so LeBron James averaged more rebounds.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he averaged was more rebounds. Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm not even saying that to say that Wade was better than him in 2009 or any of that. But it's just to illustrate to you that everybody understands the marvel LeBron is as an athlete. But most people, even you as a Heat fan, really don't understand the type of mutant that 2009 Dwayne Wade was, and the fact that those numbers surprise you. I know they do.
No, they don't surprise me because he was on a
that
garbage Heat team. He was on a garbage Heat team. Those numbers do not surprise me. He was on a garbage Heat team.
That makes it even more impressive. The fact
No,
that
it
he shot a
doesn't.
better percentage, because if you have less offensive help, you should be shooting a worse percentage, right?
No.
And you shouldn't have a bunch of energy left over to be able to get more blocks and more steals.
No, because
Is that fair?
No, it's not, because they run a whole completely different system, a different style of basketball, different plays. Everything is different. LeBron James is playing with a team in 2009. Like, for example, Dwayne Wade has Udonis Haslem, which stretches the floor. Jermaine O'Neal, who stretches the floor. You laughing? Why? Why are you laughing? I would like to know why you laughing.
You so cap, bruh. That little 10-foot baseline shot that Haslem, that stretches the forget.
Haslam's not a low block, nigga. You don't go to the low block with Haslem. That shows how stupid you are. See, that shows you. Look, that's why. You know what, sir? I'm gonna end the night because you just got on my nerves with that. Like, that ends like, nigga, you laughing because you know goddamn well you're not going to the low block with Udonis Haslem, which means he's not in the fucking paint. He's 15, 20 feet away from the rim, nigga. He's not 10 feet away from the rim. He's not on a low block. He's not in the paint. Udonis Haslem is somebody that's outside of the paint. The fuck are you talking about? He's not Ilgauskas. He's not Baranjal. Like, that's the difference. That's why you laugh. Because you know I was about to bring facts, basketball knowledge. You did a box score merchant bullshit. All to avoid the fact that you couldn't agree about the illegal defense. We went through this whole soliloquy for another fucking half an hour because you couldn't admit the facts that illegal defense existed, and that helped Michael Jordan's career. And LeBron James never faced that. Jordan never had to deal with that. What are you talking about? Let me show you the fucking gravity Jordan fucking had, right? Because like I told you before, here it is again. If we're watching the fucking plays, here it is here. Larry Bird can get this ball with nobody to stop him from getting this ball. If this was 2000s, I can detach my man from any one of these weak side men, and I can have somebody on the strong side helping. But guess what? Now, I'm sorry, Kevin McHale gets the ball, and guess what? You can only double team with the strong side man, and guess what? It goes right back to this man, and I swing back to this idiot to shoot a fucking 20-foot brick instead of him taking a three-pointer because he can't shoot three-pointers. Let's watch what happens when Michael Jordan gets the ball on the other side of the floor. What do the Bulls do? Here it is. You said, let's watch Jordan hurry up and attack the defense. Why is he not hurrying up and attacking the defense now? Why? Because he's setting up a screen, and they're setting up a play. What is the play they're setting up? They're setting up guys on the weak side. Those two guys on the weak side cannot help. They have to stay over there. Then what do the Bulls do? Right here. This man that's sitting in the paint is going to leave the paint because he has to go chase this guard who's running from the strong side to the weak side. Michael Jordan has a whole floor, one-on-one basketball versus Bill Walton, and watch what the fuck Michael Jordan does versus Bill Walton. Fucking LeBron James is barbecue chicken everything. Look at this shit. What are y'all talking about? You said Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is scoring there. Dwayne Wade is better than Jordan. Fuck are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't talk basketball. All y'all do is fucking lie. And have the nerve to tell me that I'm glazing. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Bringing up Danny Amendola and Wes Welker for quickness. Bro, get the fuck out of here. You were better off saying Steve Smith or some shit like that, bro. None of those dudes are more athletic than LeBron James. Get the fuck out of here. Dwayne Wade had great numbers in 2009 when his team was fucking 41-41. Y'all the main ones that say winning matters and then want to bring up Dwayne Wade's 40-41 season to talk about how great he was as a basketball player. Are we really doing this now? This is what we doing? My bad. The Heat were 43-39. In 2010, the Miami Heat were what? 47-35. We were better at least in 2010. But he knew what I was about to go to. I was about to cook you with that nonsense. Because like I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who won 66 games in 2009. LeBron James is out there with Varejao and Ilgauskas. Ben Wallace. There's no paint. LeBron James has to shoot the ball. He took less shots than Dwayne Wade. To average less than 2 points less than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade took 22 shots per game. LeBron James was taking less than 2 shots per game. He shot better from the three-point land than Dwayne Wade, and he shot just as good as Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade shot 49.1. LeBron James shot 48.9. By far, LeBron James is the better basketball player. That's why we keep telling you these numbers don't matter, especially when you're talking about averages. Y'all are the worst, man. So anyways, before I get up out of here, man, let me give y'all my all defensive, all NBA teams. So I think these are the guys that are going to make the all defensive teams on the left side. Dort, Daniels, Mobley, Zubac, Green, Allen, Williams, Tatum, Anunoby, and Bam. My all NBA teams is Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, and Edwards for the first team. Brunson, James, Towns, Mitchell, Curry for the second team. Harden, Mobley, Young, and Booker for the last team. And Cade Cunningham. But, ladies and gentlemen, this NBA season was definitely one of the best NBA seasons. Like I stated before, LeBron James pulled out great numbers. The NBA had great views. And at the end of the day, we are going to see a parade on Crenshaw. My Miami Heat just made the NBA playoffs. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a great Friday night. Thank you for joining me again. You guys make sure to catch us every Sunday noon Eastern time with the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny, where we do live shows and we talk about the game of basketball. We'll figure out a topic before Sunday. Make sure you catch the Radar Show tomorrow. It says 7 p.m., but it's going to be 9 p.m. right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Again, I'm A. Johnny, the Exposer. It's been another great Friday night exposure with the Exposer. I've went on for long enough. I've had a great time. This was a wonderful time talking about the game of basketball. I appreciate you guys taking your time out, talking to me. Shout out to Peter. Appreciate you. You kept the show going. Shout out to Lamont. Shout out to DVD Sports for showing up. Shout out to all you guys for being supportive of the channel. Again, all you got to do to become a member of our channel is go to our homepage, see that join tab. You become a member of our channel by picking one of the tiers. It's $4.99 to become a member of GOAT James Kingdom, and you support what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. But like I said, this has been a great, wonderful NBA season, and I'm going to leave you guys with the greatest clips of this past year, the top 5 plays of the NBA season. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. You have now been exposed by the Exposer. Peace and blessings. If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. You get to enjoy B. Lee and A. Johnny talk basketball every Sunday noon Eastern Time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Support by subscribing and also check out the membership at GOAT James Kingdom.